That never happened to me in my life.
I used to get told, look with your eyes, not your mouth.
Because I was sucking on the handle of the fridge. Alright, are we ready to go here, boys?
Attack!
Yeah, I'm good. Join game.
I'm opening tabletop. It's getting there.
SQ. Welcome back,
It's
everybody,
working
to
on
another
it.
game of Skyfall 5e. How was the week?
Long's foot!
Terrible!
Oh, no.
What was bad? What happened? What did you do?
So stressed out.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay, that's fair.
Well, we had a week off and it was sad.
You see, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat.
Oh my
And
god, every
think-
fucking day, I swear to god, since the last
Let
session.
me
He
finish.
wouldn't let me identify this mouse.
Ah! The cause of all my stress. Please.
I forgot
Every-
about that, man.
Every day. I'm so mad Illusion wouldn't let me identify that mouse. I really gotta know what it is.
Okay, well,
Hey,
let's
got
get
it.
right to it then. On your last session, you guys did a whole bunch of stuff, chief of which you went to go and deal with the jackknife gang. Once and for all, you were going to rid the land of this pest, and you set out. A few days' travel, eventually got there, and found that the force was kind of heavy, and taking them on, at least, in a frontal assault might be too much. So you started to come up with some different plans, thought about some sneaky approaches. In the end, though, you went for diplomacy and deception, and have currently just finished a night of sleep, and are expected to go out into the field and meet with the bandit leaders. And the initial plan was to use a magical item that you guys have in order to trap the leader. And recently, as you guys are all huddled around, pulling out from the bag the magical item in question, Kalik takes off the little bit of cloth, and there in his hand is a small mouse figurine. The game is yours. What do you want to do?
I was really expecting you to yell and say, "Identify!"
I just look at the mouse and look up at the and then look at the mouse.
There in your hand sits a small 2-inch figurine of a mouse. It looks like it's made out of some kind of stone.
Look.
Where's the puzzle box?
I swear the box was in here. I don't know how I got this.
Right.
What is this?
We entrusted you with the box, and you can't even keep it.
Nobody touched the box. I guarantee you.
Our entire plan that we just spent like 2 hours talking about is like based around that box. Where is it? What is that?
Here, I tossed my pack to
Tidge.
Sorry, brain fart. It's been 2 weeks.
Tidge.
Here, take a look for
I
yourself.
rifle through it.
How much time do we have before we have to meet this leader? I look at Edgar.
They're all gathered outside, so it looks like they're waiting. Arillo looks into the backpack as you're rifling through it, Tidge, and then just, gets up from the group and goes to vomit in a bush nearby.
Oh, that's just great.
Well, it's about now.
Well, fuck. We don't have time, I guess. I'll go ahead and hardcast Identify.
Okay. When you hardcast Identify on this item, you find out that the figurine actually has a command word. And if you say friend while holding on to the object, you can cause it to turn into a mouse, which is said to be a loyal ally.
Great.
We broke Edgar.
We're so fucked! Oh no!
I just sit there, and I don't say a word.
Oh my god!
You guys all see Kalik holds the thing, he casts the spell, you've seen him cast, 100 times. And then when it finishes, he just blank stares off into the distance.
Well, that can't be good. What
Keely,
did you get from it?
if you wanted a mouse, I could just ask Fergus to sit on your shoulder a little bit.
I just look up at Annie, and then I look up at Edgar. We need to leave. We need to leave right now.
We're gonna cause some suspicion.
It's gonna cause some suspicion. Not having, well, this elf leader.
Can I look out? Can I see how many they are roughly?
Sure, make a perception roll as you look out. First roll of the evening. This sets the tone for the rest of the night, hopefully.
This is such a relevant die.
The Puzzle King. Okay, that's good.
Perception is. I'm gonna say it's a +2. I think 17.
Okay. You look out across the way, staring in towards this main field here, and as you peer past the bushes and trees, you can see that the gang has kind of coalesced there, and the leader and his henchmen are surrounded by a bunch of cronies. You count maybe about 20 people there, though it's clear that some of them kind of move in between the houses, and you don't know what their total numbers would be. But just immediately what you see is like, oh, that's almost 24 people.
Well, we have two options. Option A, I go down there, tell them there's no deal. Hope he doesn't take me in like a pissed off teenager. Option 2 is we start running and hope that we can outrun them on their own turf.
How diplomatic do you think you can be with this guy? Given that we don't have, obviously, this other leader,
He's gonna
or
be-
any way of assuming him.
Here's the thing, when Metri helps me negotiate with people, he does so based on the fact that I'm being honest and trustworthy. When I go down there, I'll be doing neither. So, I'm not going to be able to rely on his aid to talk my way out of this, I don't think. And table talk illusion, because my Paladin of Redemption, I forget what it's called, but
Channel
Bit-
Divinity?
Channel Divinity, yeah.
Mhm.
It's basically, it gives me a +5 to persuasion specifically, and
Yeah.
I would be largely doing deception rolls, right?
Yeah, so you would know that that's the case.
Okay.
See,
We can give it a try. I managed to get us a meeting, so it's
I
not
don't
all
mind
hopeless.
turning tail and running, but I feel as though if we do, we're really not going to come back, because either somebody else is going to take this guy out, or they're just going to get way even bigger than they are now. So that being said, if you guys are up for it, perhaps, and this is a bit crazy, but I could try and go and sneak into. I know I was able to see his inner sanctum, or his chambers, what I believe to be his chambers anyways, when we first went out and talked to him last night. And provided I can slip past the guards, I could go in, get him, like, be invisible, sneak in there, and Edgar, if you'd give it to me, I could take that potion you have, of that like potion of death, see if I could find some, like, cask of wine or maybe a plate of food or something like that. Poison it, and if I can maybe find a place to hide, sit in there and wait. Otherwise, just turn tail and book it. I can turn invisible twice for an hour. So if you can talk to him long enough for me to get in there, then that's my crazy suggestion.
The old Oblivion poison apple trick.
Well, if you think you can get it to a spot where we're targeting the leader or his henchmen, the real mean bastards, It's not a very honorable thing, but it could prevent a lot of bloodshed in regards to his lower, less zealous followers. So if you think you can pull it off, I'll talk my ass off.
I'm willing to try if you guys are.
Sure.
I mean, the way I see it, shit. Brain fart. Oh, it's totally gone. Yeah, so,
Take my bag from him.
yeah, I'll give it back.
Okay.
I stopped rifling through it. Shit, what was I gonna say?
Do you put your
Whatever,
little
I guess it wasn't
figurine back
important.
into it?
Well, I think you were gonna give us
that's
maybe
right.
some alternatives. Wow, that's all I had to say to get it back. Okay.
No, I remembered. You
I'm
were
still
talking
looking at
about
the mouse.
how, now, Edgar, you're a lot more experienced in war, as I've understand it, than I am. These guys, if we can assume that maybe a third to a half of these guys are as weak-willed, I'll say, as the first batch that we ran into a few days back, then if we can take out their leader, then it could almost be assumed, perhaps recklessly, that a good portion of his host will dissipate after being
So-
found aimless.
There's always a false retreat. Lure them back. If we run, most likely they chase. We get back to a place we're comfortable, maybe where those traps were set up before. And fight on our own.
Well, I think it's a decent idea that has merit. It's familiar territory to them and not to us. I have to side with Tidge on this one. I think if we can get that poison in there, we talk, we leave amicably, or tell him we need one more day. Well, I got out of there once. We can do it again. And we'll observe. We'll see if we can, if we see them go down, we'll have to be on alert. We won't be able to camp here tonight, but that's something we can talk about later. Right now, they're waiting. So I say, Tidge, get your head start. If everyone's okay with it, start heading into there right away if you can. Either way, I'm going to talk. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. That's all I can do. If
right.
you can do it and get back, then we can talk about where to go from there. If I get captured along with Annabelle, you'll know where we are, I guess. But just try not to take too long. This guy, he really cuts through the bullshit.
All right. Well, then the only thing I'll ask, well, so then I guess I'll go and poison them. If I can find a cask of ale or something like that, I'll start in his chambers, and if I don't find anything there, then maybe, depending on how long that takes, try and find something else. But then I'm cutting and running. You don't want me to sit in there and wait.
Well, if things go wrong and we can't go back, we can't guarantee you escaping, and this is our only way for them to be so numbered out here that you have a legitimate chance of getting in and out. If you stay in there and that 20 goes back in, your chance is slim.
All right. Well, then there'll probably be some fuss if their leader goes down. So I will go in, be as quick and quiet as possible, and make my way out.
Go ahead. Go do it now.
All right. Is there a path that I can is there reasonable cover over in this area? And if I took a path kind of like this, that I could go and just try and kind of stealth it at first and then turn invisible as I got closer?
I would say probably up to this point.
Okay. So then what I do is come over this way and then cut through up to here.
Sure.
I give you the death potion obviously beforehand.
Okay.
Before I leave though, could I make one other request? Now, feel free to say no, but could I take that potion of life as well? Just in case I need it. Feel free to say no.
Very well.
I promise I won't use it unless I feel that I'm at death's door.
I'm not worried about you needing to use it. If you need to, please do. I'm more worried about if things go awry out here. If
True.
we need something. But, you're going in there, and I've talked my way out of one conversation. I can do it again. So here you go.
Right, Tidge? Don't mix them up.
They're pretty obvious, but I'll do my best.
That's what we thought about the puzzle box.
Right.
Look at where that's gone.
True. Alright, I will put the potion of life in my backpack, and I'll keep the potion of death in a pocket
Okay.
on my shirt.
So
Hey.
you-
And then
Wait, Tidge, here. I'll walk up to him and I'll place the figurine into his hand. I'll say, if you speak a command word, I'm not sure if I say it now if it'll activate. So, F-R-I-E-N-D. If you say that, a mouse ally will appear, and maybe you can use that to sneak poison in. I don't know, maybe. You're pretty
Well.
creative. Here.
alright.
you can add a mouse figurine to your inventory.
Do I know the how long it takes to like come back up or recharge? Or does that not?
Ah. You don't know.
Okay.
So with the figurine in hand, you're heading off to go and slip around there.
Yes.
And when you cast invisibility and start to wander out, you approach over towards the group, and you can see that the leader is there, and the gang as well are kind of milling about. You want to slip past them and get inside of the tunnel, right?
Yeah, I would probably try and go more like this
Around.
route.
Make a
I
stealth
did
check
before.
for me. With advantage since you're invis.
Don't roll 2 ones.
Okay.
You got a 7.
Ooh. All right. That I believe is a 9. Whoa.
You're turning the corner here and approaching over towards the group. And you can see the different campfires have kind of gone out and everything, but there's plenty of people sort of, seated around and whatnot, sharpening weapons and shooting the shit. And on the outskirts, there appears to be a couple of people who are talking, and you're kind of moving around them when one of them pauses for a moment and then looks over his shoulder in your direction. And as somebody who's used invisibility once or twice, this isn't really, something you're quite used to yet, but he looks directly at you. And for a moment, your heart kind of, jumps like, oh, I've been found out, and you remember that you're invisible. And while he's looking over towards you, you can see that the other guy kind of looks at him and goes, What is it? He just kind of stares over in your direction.
I would freeze. Is there anything around me? Like,
No, you're
is it
just
just
in a
open
field.
field? Okay. It would freeze until, it looks like he's going to start to approach me.
Okay. The guy stares at you for a bit, up until the point where the other one looks like he's getting annoyed, and he goes, what the fuck's going on? And his friend kind of directs him and points off towards you. He says, Did you just hear something over there? And the two of them kind of look over, and he just sort of shakes his head and says, you had too much to drink last night. And the two of them kind of go back to chatting while you're standing there, maybe like 30, 40 feet away.
I'd start walking down at this point with Annabelle. I'll look to Kalik. You alright if we leave you with the big guy?
Don't want to leave this guy all alone if he's sick.
Also, they're familiar with Annabelle and I. Look, if you can, take him and get to the tree line. Make yourselves visible, alright? I have an angle that I want to play.
All right.
Anna, you ready?
Ready as rain.
Alright. Turn on that infamous charm of yours.
Right.
The two of you wander out, and Tidge, as you're standing over there, you watch as the attention of the two men is pulled away from their conversation. They look over towards this main area as your two companions come stepping out of the forest, and it looks like a large portion of the bandits move out to greet them. As you slip over here, you get past most of these people, and eventually get over towards the entranceway, which has a couple of guards standing right at its entrance. Go ahead and make another stealth check for me.
God.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby, a trip. Oh, that's way better.
Okay, that's a 17.
No, what is this?
I'm always one step ahead.
Bleh.
You come walking over towards the entranceway here, and as you do so, you're trying to be as quiet as you can when one of your footsteps kind of, crunches a bit of gravel underfoot, and one of the guards standing there immediately looks over. And when he does, his eyes kind of squint and narrow for a second, and he pauses. And as you're standing there still, I need you to make for me a, let's say a Constitution saving throw to make absolutely no noise.
Should be adorable. That, I believe, is just going to be a 13, but... Yeah, 13.
He puts his hand onto his blade, turns over towards the other guard there, and says, "Wait here a second." And he starts walking over towards you.
I will slowly step, trying to be as conscious of the ground as possible. Like, I guess back while kind of skirting this wall or this hill.
Okay. Make another stealth check for me.
Still with advantage, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as
Okay.
you have the invis on. You need to be at a 9.
Alright, 13.
You start to step back, and as you do so, the man lunges forward and pulls out the blade from his scabbard at the same time as he slashes over to where you were a moment ago. And as he does, you see he kind of like looks around, and his face turns to a grimace, and he turns back towards the other guard and says, "There's somebody here." And the other one goes running down the tunnel.
Can I try and skirt in after him?
Sure.
Alright, that's what I would like to do.
You run around this guy and make your way into the tunnel, and you can see this one that's currently, jogging down the decline into the mountainside here, and follow after him. As you're going along, you guys are having a bit of a talk over here in the main area. And as the two of you approach, you watch as the bandit leader, accompanied by his 4 henchmen, step up towards you all. Well,
Hey there.
where is he?
Look, we've sent out a scout. This guy sent us 2 people back. We got the Goliath, and we have a tiefling with us. They're telling us it's going to be another half day or a day at least. I'm sorry I couldn't bring him directly. You don't seem like the type of man who would dilly-dally. But I'm just laying it to you straight.
You said Stroth was nearby.
No. I said he was a few days out. He's not a fool. He knows you guys have the manpower, and you own these woods. He wouldn't be waiting on your turf. He's not that much of a fool.
Make a deception check, please. You must beat a 12.
I have an 11.
Oh my god.
He pauses for a moment, and he just kind of looks over towards one of the henchmen, and they leap towards you. Now, at this point, I need to know whether or not you intend to fight them.
Not
or
at all.
If you're going to let them take you.
I
Okay.
let them. Yeah.
In a moment, the tiefling turns over and looks towards one of these sort of scarred figures standing next to him, and they pounce on you immediately. And they have their weapons drawn and everything, but you don't make any attempts to escape. Annabelle, how about you?
I'm just gonna let them, and then I roll my eyes.
Okay. Immediately, weapons are at your.
I'm
your
gonna
throats.
let out a chuckle too as she rolls her eyes, kind of like a really guys.
And at that point, you see that the boss kind of steps over towards you, and he says, "Well, we'll see him soon then. Maybe he'll pay your ransom."
You're planning on starting a Sovereign Stone cooperative mission by taking the person he sent in to talk to you? Good luck. He'll let you take my head before he comes back down here.
No. That'd be nice, but I smell something fishy here. I think we need to have a long talk.
I'll use my channel divinity for persuasion. And basically what it does is it grant myself a +5 on charisma persuasion checks for 10 minutes. So I'll look at him. Look, I'll come in with you. You can even, obviously, you can take my weapon. It's not something I can give you permission on. But let's just talk. Because I promise you, we don't mean you any harm. Not today. And all we want to do is come out of here in one piece.
Make a persuasion roll, please.
Oh, damn, dude, that's gonna be high as shit. That's a 24.
He scoffs for a moment. The tiefling kind of turns towards these men that are surrounding you, and he says,
Guys, do you need the show of force? Look at you guys. There's 20 and there's 2 of us. You already know the 10 would. Even if all of us were down here, you'd still be able to take us. So rather than, flexing the muscle, which I get, you want to do every now and then. That's why we get into this business. Let's just go about it as civilized bandits.
Don't rough him up yet. Just gag this one. And you see that he points to you. And the 4 here take out rope and manacles, and soon both of your wrists are behind your back, handcuffed, and a gag is thrown onto Edgar, though not Annabelle for whatever reason. And
Annie's gonna giggle.
I'll just go like...
And you guys are led away. Now, meanwhile, over here, somewhere in the tunnel, Tidge, as you're going down, you're starting to get closer towards that area where the this little room is, where you had seen the leader from before, and suddenly a burst of activity comes as a bunch of people come running out of that door and just rush past and go up the hallway, going past you on the way outside.
Okay.
Now,
I'd hug the wall, obviously.
make a stealth check for me again, please.
Got it.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
He sees me. Ugh. 6.
That wasn't actually a nat 20, that was disadvantage because they were all
Oh.
panicked and everything,
But it
but you
doesn't
rolled
matter,
like
does it?
shit anyway. Now, as the group is running, one of them breaks off, and you see that one guy kind of lags behind as they're passing you, and he stops like 5 feet away. And the gang kind of like turns around, and one of them goes, "Are you coming?" And he goes, wait. You guys hear that? The fuck are you talking about? That breathing noise. And he kind of like looks around and stares towards your portion of the wall there. And another one calls and he goes, "We don't have any time for this shit," and just starts running up the tunnel there. But a couple of the others stay, and one of them looks over and goes, "Didn't they say something about a invisible guy?" And you see the guy who's staring towards you nods, and he goes, "Yeah." And as that happens, he walks over towards the wall with his hand outstretched. What do you do?
Can I, like, crouch down and start to just kind of, like, tiptoe down the hall a little ways? Like, a couple feet?
Okay. I would say you could do that. I will tell you that because he's standing, like, literally next to you,
Yeah.
that tiptoeing will be a very difficult stealth check.
Aren't you like tiny?
Yeah,
Wait,
I mean,
that's metagaming. I'm sorry.
He is a
I
halfie,
stopped
yeah.
talking.
I mean, yeah, I am only like 4 feet tall, but actually 3'1". So,
The premium
Alright.
of the D&D world.
all right, I'll do my best to just kind of like crouch down. No, I'm gonna. Fuck.
Do you move? Do you stand still? He's a couple
No.
feet away, walking towards you. His hand is outstretched.
Yep. I'll just kind of like try and crouch down and then like lie down parallel with the wall.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna get crouched down. Like
You-
ready to burst up and run down the hall if I need to.
I would like somebody who's feeling lucky tonight to make a luck roll.
That's you.
Oh wait, you're rolling really well.
Oh, it's me. Here you go.
Oh, you're rolling better than I am. So my fate is in your hands.
Oh, please, you filthy slut.
Ugh.
It's not bad.
He steps forward. He's just a couple feet away. You can practically smell the ale on him, and his hand reaches over towards you and paws out directly in front of him. And you watch as it combs like an inch above your hair and then pads onto the wall there. And then he just kind of like pulls his hand away. And then somebody yells from up the tunnel and just goes, "You fucking idiot, let's go." And he just kind of like turns around for a second, staring at the wall, and then just runs back up the tunnel.
I give it about 30 seconds, 45, and then I exhale. Center myself real quick, and then make my way to the door.
Okay.
Do you need to change your pants?
It was close. I was squatting, that's true.
Roll a Constitution saving throw to not shit yourself.
As you make your way down up to this door, you find that it's ajar. They ran out without locking the thing in such a hurry, and the room is completely available to you. And it looks like it's fairly lavish, at least for what you'd expect from a bunch of people that kind of camp out in the middle of nowhere. There's actually like a nice mattress over in the corner, and you see like a chest and like a large, what looks like a desk made out of like random pieces of like plank wood taken from a crate. You know, somebody's nailed together a little IKEA desk sort of thing in the corner. What do you want to do?
Is there, like, a cask of any sort in here? Like, maybe a private stock of wine or ale?
Oh,
By any chance?
interesting. You do find a cask at the back there. It looks like some of the other barrels, but it's a little bit smaller. And you see there's like a little spigot there at the bottom, clearly showing what this is.
Okay. How small is it? Like, could I pick it up at all?
Can you pick it up? No, you cannot pick up that
Okay.
barrel. A human would have a tough time with it. For you, it's impossible.
Is there like a cork? Fuck.
There is no cork. The spigot at the bottom there has a cork that you can pull, and it'll just start pouring at that point. Or you could pop up in the top if you want, which you know is also common practice, generally done with like a crowbar.
do I see either that or like a chalice or a cup that seems like it might be the captain's?
Oh, there is a mug on the table. A bunch with it's there with a bunch of other random items. You see a cup that has like some quills in it and some paper laying there and what looks like a sack of coin.
Oh, a sack of potatoes.
Fiddly dee potatoes.
Irish.
I guess, I'll take the... Oh, it's so risky. Is there anywhere that's like a small closet or something that I might be able to hide in?
The room that you're in is essentially all rock wall, and so you don't see anything like a closet. However, in the back of the room, where there's this keg that you're staring at, there are other things that you could hide behind. There's like a large crate and another one behind that. It's like a bunch of storage containers just kind of shoved into this corner.
Okay, then what I'll do is take the potion and empty it into his mug, or what I assume to be his mug, and then I'm gonna hide behind those casks because there's too much of a question as to whether or not that's gonna work.
Okay, so you take the potion here, or poison rather, and you pour it into the mug and hide in the little back end of the room here. Now, meanwhile, outside, you guys are dragged over and are just simply plopped down outside of one of these little shacks that have been left here. And they put you kind of like tied up by a bunch of rope, like a dog to a fence post or something, and leave you there for a bit. And you can see that the leader's having a talk with some of the other bandits. There are armed men that are nearby and watching you, but otherwise they haven't harmed you yet. And
Is there a place to sit down?
they have sat you on the floor, like on the dirt.
Okay.
Now, you don't really know what's about to happen, but if there is something that's kind of telling, is that they haven't taken your weapons. So maybe your words have worked, or maybe they aren't, or maybe they don't think you're a threat. Who knows? But they've just kind of chained you up and dropped you there. Are you guys going to do anything?
I'm gonna turn on my girlish charm.
Goodness gracious. Okay. How does that happen? What are you doing?
Oh, I don't know. Just look extra provocative.
Is it like a Captain Planet ring where you just pointed at people and they drop their
Yeah.
pants?
Definitely.
So you're trying to strike a sexy pose while your wrists are
Sure.
manacled
go with
behind you?
Any
Yeah.
of you boys into bondage porn?
Spreads legs. Just fucking leans back, spread eagle.
I was thinking more of
you've been working
more
here
of the
often,
forward
or?
tips on the ground with the ass in the air kind of deal, but
Oh,
leans
damn.
back, spread eagles.
Face
Works.
down, ass up.
Yeah.
Edgar is there to
No,
witness all this, so I mean,
No, I'm not gonna. But just look
I
extra
don't know.
cute.
I need help here. Aid me, please.
What the fuck?
What do you want
You
to
know-
do?
Not look grumpy as hell.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you want to look
I'm
like you're
looking-
pleased about being tied up by a bunch of bandits.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
gotcha.
looking as relaxed as possible, too.
Okay. Yeah, you're not struggling or attempting to speak or anything.
No,
you're just
not
kinda
even.
Like, listening to the bird song, looking around and everything.
Yeah, looking at the sky, being like, wow, it's a really beautiful day out. Is it a beautiful day out?
Yeah,
Perfect.
just chill.
You're like, oh, there's a nice bird over there. Yeah, kinda. Now, meanwhile, out in the tree line, Kalik, you have witnessed all of this. You see the two of them wander up, and it looks like they're talking. You can't hear from way back here, though. And then a moment later, they all spring on them, and then you're watching your friends being taken away in chains. What do you want to do?
Just have my arms crossed, just tapping my arm. I fucking knew it. I'm just talking to myself, talking to Murillo. He's like puking in a bush, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, what did I tell them? What did I tell them?
He like attempts to speak back and just keeps throwing up.
I just like start panicking, kind of a little bit, just like talking to myself. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch as they're led away, essentially, not knowing what the fuck to do.
Okay. Inside of the bandit leader's room, you are behind a bunch of crates and barrels, holding onto this mug that has a small amount of liquid at the bottom, which could potentially kill anybody. And
I would have left it on where I found it. I would have just poured
oh,
it
put
in.
it back on the table.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, after having done that, are you hanging out in this room, or are you going somewhere? Like, what are you thinking? So you pour the
I was
poison in
gonna-
there.
Is there somewhere that you said I could like probably hide behind the like casks and stuff.
Okay, so you're waiting there until somebody comes in.
Yeah. I want to see if he drinks from it and if it'll even work. It's just too questionable, so I'm waiting there to see
Okay.
if the captain will drink from it. Despite what I was told to do.
You rebel.
Now,
And then so I don't know if I could get any sort of like if I'm just sitting here waiting, if I could get like a short rest something like that in.
I think as long as
But-
you're not interrupted and you're just seated back there, yeah, you could.
So I would let invisibility fade when it does, and then as soon as I hear someone coming, I would cast it again.
Okay. So, here in your little hiding spot, you wait for a while, and meanwhile outside, the boss approaches you two who are seated there, and he takes a brief moment to look at Edgar, and then turns over to you, Annabelle.
Oh yeah, I'll look straight at him and bat my eyelashes. I'm the best.
Edgar
Can I
sighs
let
audibly.
out? Can I? No, not even. Can I let out like a muffled chuckle through my through my gag? Like,
Of course. Talking shit's a free action. So this tiefling leader steps up and looks over at you, and staring down, he says, "So, how long is it till Stroth gets here exactly?"
You
I
heard
looked-
Edgar. You said, wait, what did you say? You said day and a half.
yeah.
It's about a day and a half. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but you gave Edgar a different name, didn't you?
No.
No, but I used a different last name.
Different
my
last
dude.
name. Gotcha. So,
And it was I have it here. It was the shamed house that I found out about on the ship.
Yeah, you gave
Um,
me a different last name too, but I don't remember what it was.
hopefully
I?
it doesn't come up.
Yeah, maybe you used the same one.
No, it was
No.
similar.
I
It
It
used
was like
similar.
McCreary.
I used Lone Hell. Yeah, the disgraced noble family. Yeah.
Okay. So he looks at you, and when you reply like that, he says, "So I should see him tomorrow then?"
I'm gonna shake my head.
Like yes or no.
Like a no.
All right. Yeah. I'm sure. Like Edgar said, he's probably gonna let you cut off our heads before he comes out here.
I'll let out another chuckle, like let my shoulders bounce up and down.
He pauses for a second, and you see him kind of just standing there staring at the two of you.
I'm just making like eye contact from the bot from on my knees here. Just looking up at him.
Well, might as well get comfy then.
I
And,
immediately lie down on my back.
On top of your hands?
Whatever, sure. Or on my side, just like chilling.
I was gonna say, have you ever laid on your back with your hands behind there?
it's a
'Cause
really
that's not very
shitty layup
comfortable.
pose. He turns and walks away, and you see that he posts two of his good guards to stand nearby and watch over you, while the other two seem to go with him as they walk past and head over towards the tunnel. Now, it's worth noting that it's been a little while, and you guys haven't seen Tidge at all. And
How long has it been roughly? Sorry.
I would say it's probably been like 10, 20 minutes kind of thing.
Okay, and would we be short resting too while we're doing this?
Sure, yeah, I'd say that'd be
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Has he left proper?
Yes, he is now in the tunnel, and he's gone.
I'll sit myself back up and look at these two guards. What are they like?
The
Describe
two
them to
veterans
me.
here,
Yeah.
one of them looks like a desert raider. Like he has kind of like a light brown skin to him. He wears like a dilapidated head wrapping, and he has a couple of scimitars at his side, and he has scars all over him. Like, you know, his lip is cut in like 3 places. It looks like his nose is, you know, pointed in the wrong direction, everything like that. And he's just like a sinewy ball of muscle. And the other one is kind of more of a portly gentleman. He's got kind of like light skin, bald head, and he has what looks to be like a really large spiky mace at his side.
Oh, I'm looking at him. I'm gonna gesture my head as if like, come over here for a second.
He raises an eyebrow and just kind of, you know, like looks at you like you have my attention, but he doesn't move towards you.
I'm gonna keep going. Like, come on. And I'm gonna look down like it'll just take a minute type of thing, as much as I can emote that with my eyebrows and my eyes.
I'm gonna roll to see how bright he is. Okay. He gets it and walks over, but he does keep like a healthy distance from you as he comes up closer, and he kind of, you know, leans over a few feet away. What?
Can I spit out the gag?
No.
Well,
It's tied around the back of your head.
I'm gonna look at him like, come on, man, just come on. I can't talk with this.
He pulls the knot and releases the gag for a second, but continues holding it in his hand. He says, "What is it?"
Oh, that's nice. Look, man,
And he giggles.
I guess I understand the boss is the boss. He's gonna do his thing. If you're asking me, it's a waste of time. Look, we got 4 sovereign stones coming down that road in 3 days. Alright? Sovereign stones. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure raiding poor civilians going down the road hasn't been a huge payout for you guys. So
I
put the
think you're full
gag
of
back
shit.
on. Yeah?
Boss,
Alright, well put the gag back on then. I'm tired of wasting my time.
Gladly. And he gags you once again there and ties the knot behind your head, and then just turns and walks away.
I'll look at Annabelle like, get a load of this guy.
And Kid, you'd make a pretty good steed.
I'll laugh.
Now, meanwhile, back in the room, you can hear footsteps that are coming in your direction there, Tidge. It sounds like maybe a few people, more than a couple, less than a half dozen there, and they're going to be upon you any moment now. You've been resting over here, and I would say you get a short rest. Likewise, the rest of you as well, if you want to roll anything. And
Just to be safe, I would re-up my invisibility.
okay, so you cast invisibility. And off towards the tree line, Aurilo, after having realized that your group had lost the puzzle box, you had turned to go and vomit into the bush nearby, feeling not so good about the whole thing. You're finally coming out of your sickness. What do you want to do? You're standing there at the tree line with Kalik, and you've seen your 2 companions get captured, basically, and Tidge still hasn't come back.
Just feeling a little nauseous there.
Yeah, no shit. Have you been paying attention at all?
No, not really. I was focusing on my stomach about to explode.
That's great. That's great. Well, do you have
What
any
do you suppose it
suggestions?
is? I mean,
2 against 30. How do you like those odds? 'Cause I don't.
does your gun turn into a machine gun or something like that?
How do you even know about machine?
Isn't your intelligence 8?
Oh yeah, it is. Let me rephrase that. Does your bang stick turn into bang 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 stick?
I just squint my eyes at him.
Outstanding roleplay.
Yikes!
You is sick.
What is happening?
Oh, I'm looking back out into the field. Does it seem like any have stayed there, or are they all back? Their camp.
You can't. You think they're missing at first, and when you go and stare over at the shacks and the bandits, you know the leaders have walked away and whatnot. And your friends are completely gone, and then you see them there, over by one of the houses. They're kind of just like seated over next to it, and it looks like they're all tied up. And Annabelle's just sitting there, and Edgar's like laying on his side.
Well,
Oh,
Honestly-
you're shot.
we probably have to wait till night. I don't know what the hell they've gotten themselves into. Perhaps, I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
Neither do I.
I'm the king of the castle, and you're the dirty rascal.
Well,
That was the dirty.
I guess
guy.
we're gonna wait for a little bit.
Yep. Aurelio
Okay.
has no idea what the fuck is going on.
Over here in the room, Tidge, the footsteps come closer, and passing by the door, you watch as the leader comes in and has his 2 henchmen with him.
Just still as a statue.
Okay. One of them looks over and goes, "Well, what do you think, boss?" And he kind of walks over towards his desk and sort of starts like tapping his finger on the table and says, "They're up to something. I don't think that any of the these sovereign stones are real. I don't think that they're even from the gang. It's a whole bunch of shit. Whole thing's just stinks." And he walks over and grabs the cup off of the table. And I'm gonna roll perception to see if he notices that there's a bit of liquid in it.
Oh my god.
Actually, you know what? Instead of that, let's do a pure luck roll.
I'm so glad I'm not rolling this.
Welcome back, Arillo.
Most
No
important
pressure.
roll of the night.
Most important role that I cannot make because my tabletop is still updating.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll do it then.
Oh,
No.
for
Oh,
fuck's
wait,
sake!
no, no.
Wait.
This is a sacred tradition. We have to wait. He'll be here any minute now.
Okay.
Oh my god, you're gonna be waiting so long.
How? It's tabletop.
It's like it keeps going from like 27 minutes to like 4 hours.
I
It's
told
only
you there
loaded
was
up
an
2
update.
bars.
Are you on
Half-
dial?
Yes, I'm
6-7.
sorry. I had to fill out papers for work.
I don't understand.
For the whole week?
No, I just got the papers today.
No, I mean, you could have
for the
updated.
update? Well, I didn't know the update was like there until Mike said it about
I don't
like
feel
an hour ago.
like that's really anything to blame, right? Like, it's not like we played tabletop in the meantime. What's weird is that his internet is so slow that whatever tabletop is attempting to download, it's taking an hour.
It's like, all right, let me find out how big the update is.
Well, if we're waiting for that, then I'm gonna go take a leak. I'll be back.
Shall we take a 5-minute?
It's 3.8 gigabytes.
Well, for tabletop? Are you sure you're not
For tabletop,
re-downloading
yes.
tabletop?
I am absolutely positive. You are going to be waiting a while for that luck roll.
Okay. Next up on the list is Connor here. Okay, but we are going to take 5 minutes before Connor rolls it. We'll be back in a moment.
You no! You see what you get, Connor?
We'll be back in a moment.
I don't know why it's such a big update. Like, what the hell? What? 2 weeks and I get a 3.8 gigabyte update. I'm gonna take a
Time to
picture. I'm
get
gonna send it to you.
fucked.
I'm gonna send this to
Time
you.
to get
I'm gonna send
fucked.
this. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it.
Nobody cares, man. Just
Doing it
get
anyways.
it updated.
Oh my god. I don't think I'm gonna be on Tabletop Simulator tonight.
We're all gonna die.
It's okay. Your brother can roll for you
BRB?
if it comes down to it.
Connor doesn't want to do the roll.
What? I thought this was a sacred thing.
No, I mean, if
you wanna
Aurelio
wait
needs
for
rolls for the tax, and stuff.
3.8 gigabyte update, yeah, I mean you can wait for that long. It's at
I mean-
4.6 megabytes right now. So you know.
I mean,
Oh, I'm a liar. It's farther than that.
No.
Hey, I'm up to 15 hours. I'm up to 19 hours, 21 hours,
Oh,
6 hours.
you're just working on it.
Are you downloading like 3 bits per minute?
It's actually going by kilobytes right now. It's like 31 kilobytes. Oh,
I'm gonna
now
go
we're
get
up to
something.
megabytes. Now we're up to megabytes.
I'd be big.
4.6 megabytes.
Mon esti de tabarnak!
4.21 gigawatts.
So,
Dude, that's...
That's a lot of jizz.
You
yeah.
ever seen the Scared Straight from SNL?
Mm-mm.
Oh, then my thing makes no sense and just makes me sound weird. Okay.
Yep.
It's okay. You've got a mouse.
I do have a mouse.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Well, while I can't do that, I'm gonna start a second character.
You think we're gonna die? No.
No, but it's good to have a second one on the list there. Alright, so I gotta figure out what kind of... Fuck, what were my cantrips? I didn't even do the cantrips. Fuck! I'm doing a Hexblade Warlock.
Eldritch Blast is pretty much a must.
Yeah, I saw that one. Is that a cantrip?
Yes.
It is not on my list of cantrips. Oh no, it is. Never mind, sorry. Didn't see it.
I mean, it's
I
not
have...
necessary, but
Oh wait, is my curse... Can you help me with the book, Mike? Xanathars? Or any of you guys? Where's the blade, or the... I'm looking at the Warlock thing here.
your curse is a bonus
Hexblade.
action.
Oh, okay, it's bonus
It's
action.
not a spell.
How would I choose cantrips and all spells?
You just choose 3 cantrips that you would. Actually, no, 2 cantrips that you like.
Okay. And then
I am
what
big.
are the Eldritch invocations?
Those are things that you can do. Like
Okay, so when I choose
Um,
my pact, I get features from that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's just something you get at second level, excuse me. Like I have
Yeah.
Eyes of the Runekeeper, which allows me to read all writing.
It adds a bit of flavor to your character and
Yeah.
serious utility, which Warlock needs. So,
Mm-hmm. Like I
Yeah.
picked up Agonizing
I'm doing the
Blast,
Hexblade.
which gives me a little boost to my my Eldritch Blast,
mhm.
which I needed.
Okay.
Are we
$20, I roll a 3.
riggedy ready to go here and see what
Um,
gets rolled?
I'm riggedy ready.
Oh, goodness.
Ashley?
I think she just left.
Oh, okay, we can chill for a minute.
How
Alright, you
far
can help me.
along are you on the update?
Not very far at all.
12 megabytes out of 3.8 gigabytes.
I told
An
you.
error
it's
has
not
occurred while updating Tabletop Simulator. Connection timed out.
I feel like there's almost no
Now
way
it's doing
this could have
PUBG.
happened.
You can stop it from doing that. You can choose what it updates.
Yeah, I know. I did that right now. Alright, it's back on Tabletop. Well, at least now I'm getting
3.8.
better. I'm getting more bytes now, so...
What on earth could it be downloading? Did anybody else have a big update like that?
I
I
don't.
don't
Now
know.
it's 3.9 gigabytes. What the?
I mean, I have auto update on. It could have been a few.
Yeah.
I had an update, but it did it in like I don't even know.
Well, I mean,
So
I did
walked
the
away.
last update, but I mean, like,
You at 7.
I know, but I was doing paperwork and I was eating dinner at the time that you texted me.
What's crazy is the whole file, like the entirety of the game, is roughly 6 gigabytes. So the
Yeah, I
fact-
don't. I have no idea why the fuck it's like that.
It's crazy.
It's pissing me off.
Oh well, such is life. We shall see what Connor rolls. I prefer his rolls anyway. They're rather fun. And like I said, it's been a very wonky week, so maybe he's about to fucking slay it.
Are we talking
not
about this
anymore.
luck roll?
I'm rolling a 3.
Ah,
God.
he's gonna dump it out. It was the stupidest idea.
I'm giving you a 50-50. If it's 11 or higher, he does not notice.
Oh, those odds are okay.
Anybody would beat that if it weren't for the fact Connor's about to roll. Too bad 90% of his rolls are 3s or under.
Ashley, you back?
Thought I
Yup.
heard her.
Alright, we're good to go. Welcome back, folks. If you forgot, we're about to do the roll for poison here. Whether or not this man notices. 11 or higher, and he has no idea.
Easy.
He did it! He did it! It is a weird week.
Oh.
Watch, Connor's gonna be fucking slaying dice for the rest of the evening. An 18, eh?
Nice. So high.
He walks over and grabs the cup. And as he turns to walk over towards you from your little hidden spot there where, you know, you're invisible, so you can actually kind of watch them and not have to worry about being seen. He steps over and then pauses for a moment and kind of like he swirls the cup like he's recognized there's something in it, and then just downs it instantly, like it's just like the last bit of his beer. And then he kind of like looks off away from the two men, like his two henchmen that are in the room, and then for a brief second kind of faces over towards you and looks towards the back wall, and you see what looks like a kind of like a grimace, much like somebody would make when they're having something sour, where he kind of like his face contorts, and then he just hits the ground. And the two henchmen look at each other like, what the fuck is happening? And they look like they're mortified.
I just hold my breath and stand still.
The cup rolls from his hand, and one of them goes, a boss? And like kind of takes a step forward, and the other one, you know, looks around the room all doggedly and like stares out the door, and then kind of, you know, looks around the different parts, and then looks at the dead boss on the ground.
I stand still. I'm only gonna do anything if they run out of the room.
Okay. I would like a second luck roll, and this is to see if if the bandits behave orderly, or if everything goes to shit.
Pandemonium.
Yeah.
It's Hawk Club now, bitches.
Either way, it'll be fun. Let's be honest.
Oh my god!
Really bad. Okay, let's just say every god that's ever been created on planet Earth is on our side tonight. Right now.
What
My
the
heart
fuck?
can't take anymore.
You watch as this man leans over and looks at the boss there and kind of like flips him over and stares at him there. You know, the cup sort of rolling away from his hand. He grabs the cup and looks in it, and then turns around and pulls out a blade. He takes out his short sword and looks over towards the other henchman nearby, and he goes, "You always wanted to be boss, didn't you? Just couldn't fucking wait for it, could you?" And the other one just looks over and he pulls out his weapons and he goes, "The fuck are you talking about?" And like takes a step backwards towards the door, and the other one starts moving towards him, and he just like pushes a chair out of the way and kind of smashes over into the sidewall, and he goes, "Couldn't fucking wait for it, could you? You know, I heard them stories about your old mutiny." And the other one kind of holds the blade up and says, "You fucking think you can take me?" And before long, the two blades come crashing down on one another. And you're just hiding there, over in the back corner. And the body that's on the ground, which should be completely motionless and dead there, just kind of like convulses for a second in like some sort of rigor mortis spasm as a bunch of like vomit just, you know, spews out of his mouth. And these two people hack each other up by the doorway there, their swords kind of clanging together. You also hear what sounds like footsteps that are running down the hall. What do you want to do?
Is there any room for me to just like crouch down and become as small as I can behind all this stuff?
Sure.
Then that's all I'm doing.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You just listen to it, and, you know, you hear blades bouncing back and forth, a bunch of people screaming, there's footsteps, somebody shouts, like, trying to find out what's going on, and then, as the two approach, or sorry, not the two, but like a gang of people coming down the tunnel there, you hear as somebody screams out in pain, and as this is happening, somebody calls out, and he's like, "He's trying to kill the fucking boss. The boss is fucking dead." And the other one calls out, and he sounds like he's in horrible pain, and his voice is kind of, you know, like straining past some sort of injury he must have taken. And you hear a piece of metal that like falls to the ground there. And as that happens, you hear somebody else cry out, and the person who cries out in pain next is not a voice that you've heard yet. It must be some other like third party. And then the fighting multiplies, and you're just like hiding there behind this barrel as like this big gang fight breaks out. And while you guys are over there, like up by the shacks, you guys hear something, and you guys aren't the only ones to pick it up. It's actually kind of one of the henchmen that sort of looks over towards the entranceway of the tunnel there first. And as you kind of look over, you hear what sounds like screams of agony and pain, and like jeering, and somebody who almost sounds like they're making like animal noises and some sort of bloodlust. And as they're looking over there, the two of them kind of like exchange a glance, and you know, this big portly guy that you had talked to a moment ago kind of pulls out his mace, and he takes a couple steps in that direction, and you watch somebody come running out. It looks like one of the regular bandits, and he has a dagger embedded in like the top of his left like pectoral muscle there. And
Oh, I thought you were gonna say his head. I was like, what? How is he running?
The top of his left head.
yeah, and half of his body is just covered, like dripping in blood, and he holds up his sword and he just shouts, "Mutiny!" And everybody just like looks at each other and quickly starts breaking into like sides, essentially. And the two vets here kind of look at each other, and I want somebody to make a luck roll to see if they actually like one another.
Is it?
Oh, it's my turn.
Ashley's-
Oh
it's
no.
you. Can I make a check to see if to tell if I
luck
can
ends
see this?
here.
I would say
Like-
that, yeah, you're noticing that something's going on over there.
A 9.
All right.
It's a 9.
Okay. The two kind of look at each other, and it seems like they're not about to turn on one another. They look over towards the two captives there, and then they turn back, and maybe it's years of experience, maybe not, but the two of them immediately go, "Fuck, we gotta bounce." And they kind of like say it in unison, you know, the two different accents there, and they immediately run over towards the two of you as you're kind of chained up there. And one of them grabs a hold of the gag and just fucking tears the knot and everything, rips it from your hands, and sort of pushes you up against the back wall there, Edgar. And he says, "Alright, how much fucking coin you got?"
I got 10 on me.
And he goes, "Where?" And he starts like patting around on you.
I go into my pocket, I pull out just a fistful. I actually have 23. I'll just pull out a fistful and put it into his chest.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of like, your hands are tied behind your back, but you can get at like your side pocket there, and you just throw a bunch of coin on the ground.
There you go.
He just grabs it in a fistful of dirt, stuffs it into his coat pocket there, and he pulls out your sword for a moment, and then just goes, fuck it, and throws it on the ground and takes his mace instead. And he looks to the other one, who's run up to you there, Ashley, and he does the same thing, and he goes, "Alright, pretty, how much money you fucking got?"
Does it look like I have any money on me?
Can I attempt to break through my bonds? Like,
I will let you try, but it is handcuffs, so roll very high. Strength check, please.
oh damn. Okay. No.
Can you
Ow,
make
my
a
wrist.
Constitution saving throw?
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay.
Oh
You
my
won't-
god.
I was gonna have,
Shatter them!
I was gonna have you let out like a really pathetic whimper while you tried to do it.
Can I let out a really intimidating roar instead with that nat 20?
One of them is stepping away, and he's like, trying to hurry his friend here, who's currently like shaking Annabelle and like, slams her against the back wall there, trying to get some coin out of her. And you're just like, "Ah!" Just screaming.
Yeah, I go,
fucking
and I'm like trying to like just bust out, bro style, right out of these handcuffs.
One of them looks at you, and you see his like hand goes to his mace, and then he just starts laughing to himself as you're like stuck there on the ground.
Can I attempt to spear him? Because I know there's some slack on the rope, right?
Oh, like just like headbutt into his gut?
Well, shoulder, like a full-on, like football tackle.
Yeah, make an athletics roll.
Fuck yeah.
I'd say.
Oh! Suck my fucking dick. Yeah. Okay, wait. I need to. Yeah, he fucking gets pooped on. That's a 23.
You, like, what is it? Like a game of Smash Brothers, you're like Luigi, and you fucking fly across. And before the rope can pull you back, they haven't put, there's way too much slack, and you just slam into his belly, and he just falls over straight to the ground, like 5 feet away.
I wanna fucking. Oh, is he 5 feet away or like below me? Is he like?
He's not within melee. He's like landed on the ground away from you.
Can I see if I can get to him?
There's not enough slack, but he looks like he's incapacitated at the moment.
Fuck.
And the other guy who's like holding on to you there, like who's kind of like patting you down for coin, immediately looks over as Edgar just torpedoes this man in the gut with his head.
I'll just look at him and just try to intimidate with my eyes alone.
Do you do anything, Annabelle?
I'm like, my chest is heaving like I'm fucking ready to fucking go right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be
Not one
like-
strand of hair.
Right, so generally you buy me dinner first before you touch me all over the place, but I don't have any coin. Edgar has all the coin and he just threw it on the ground.
He throws you to the side there, and I'd say this guy here, he kind of like looks over, and as he turns behind him, there's just this massive 20-man brawl, and he just runs over, and he grabs his fat friend there and starts like heaving him and like pulling him back to his feet, and he goes, "Stop fucking, I'm gonna kill you." And he looks over at you, Edgar, as you're still chained like a dog. You can't get to him, and this man with the term is just like, "It's not worth it, mate. It's not worth it. Come on, let's fucking go." And it's just like, "No, just one swing before."
Can I yell before they leave?
Sure.
Boys, can I have the keys?
While this is going on, can I pat Arillo? Now's our time, and like just start running.
Oh, sure. Do you want to go with him, Marilla?
Yes.
Okay, so the two of you go running out from the forest here and start to approach. Now, meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of fighting, Tidge, and it seems to be enough that it's kind of erupted past the tunnel, and you can hear, like, what must be a huge fight, sort of echoing way down the tunnel. Whatever's going on the surface, it's not pretty. But as far as local sounds go, the fight that was near you has died out, and the only thing that you can hear is the sound of somebody moving with a very noticeable hobble, like staggering around. And he's just like, fuck. And he's just crawling about the place, and you hear like his hand, you know, kind of like slam on a table, and it sounds like somebody's still moving around in the room.
Can I? I'll kind of stand up and see if I can see who it is.
Yeah, you see one of the henchmen there, and he is holding his gut with one hand, like it just arm over his abdomen. There's like a whole bunch of blood just dripping down over his arm onto the ground, and he's crawling with his 3 appendages there, and he's going over towards a chest over on the side of the room. And as he gets to it, you see he just like leans up against it, falls over backwards, and he starts fumbling with his jacket. And you watch as he kind of like pulls out a key from it, and he's with his like really bad arm here, his hand's still shaking, goes to move over to the chest to try and open it, and accidentally kind of like drops the key, and then starts like leaning over to try and get at it.
Homie!
I'll climb over. No, actually, still behind there. I will obscure myself as best as possible and cast Mage Hand right there, and try and grab it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure if you cast a spell, you'll be...
Yo, yeah, that's why I'm saying I try and obscure myself as much, because I will be... It'll fade.
Okay. So, are you gonna still... If you're gonna grab it, you're gonna have to have some view of him, even if you're hiding.
And
Yeah,
also,
so...
Mage Hand is super visible when you're not a thief, right?
Yeah, it's like a blue spectral hand.
Okay, so you're gonna, like, keep a small sliver so you can see through the boxes, and then Mage Hand the key away from him, and hopefully he'll have no idea what the fuck's happening.
Yeah, I guess I'm hoping that the guts...
Okay.
Yeah.
Just kill him! Just kill him!
As he's
Nope,
laying
this is
there,
what I
his
thought to
hand
do.
reaches down, and you kind of crouch a little bit, and then cast a spell. Your invisibility fades, but a blue spectral hand appears there, and he looks like he's flabbergasted as it reaches down and grabs the key. What are you doing with the key?
Just gonna huck it across the room, and as soon as that happens, I'll let it dissipate. And then crouch down again.
There's a metallic clang as it like bounces against a back wall, and the guy just kind of like a whole bunch of blood just comes out of his mouth, and he sort of like falls over to one side, and he goes, "I'll fucking kill you." And you recognize him. He's so haggard that it's tough at first to notice. You didn't even pick up on it, but this was the guy who had reached like just above your head, and he's
really?
kind of like looking around the room. And he starts to crawl like he's going for the key again. And he gets like maybe 2 feet before his hand kind of slips and he just hits the ground. Stops moving.
Okay, is there any more sound?
There's definitely
Other
a
than,
battle
like, the
going on
cannon.
upstairs, but there's nothing
Alright.
around you.
Then I'm going to...
That's the
Um,
biggest troll.
You guys will never know. Tidge is always so like, I wouldn't say innocent, but like, you know, he doesn't play the game like
He's a-
that.
babbling idiot.
And then this is what happens when you leave him to his own devices, fucking torturing this man.
So, I'll take it and I'll grab the key and then I'll see if it'll unlock the chest.
Sure enough,
He's dead, right?
Yep, it fits
Alright,
perfectly
sweet.
into the chest, and as it opens up, I need somebody to make a luck roll.
Oh, that's you.
Oh no, I don't do that. Do you
No,
want
I
me to
don't-
roll luck for you? I'll throw the
Um,
filthy slut maybe like once a game.
What the fuck? I can't scroll out in the tabletop anymore. What's going on?
Let's see, what do you guys get? It's like a little bit better than average.
After it opens, I want to use my mage hand and just slap him across the face and then it'll dissipate.
Just slap this
That's what
dead
we
man
want.
on the ground. Sure. Let's see. Edgar, I want you to roll. If it's 1 to 10, you find a bunch of material wealth there in the form of like coins, gems, things like that. If you find 11 to 20, it's objects that are worth stuff.
I was about to do my roll, but that's a cuck roll for the filthy slut. I
It's
need
all
to
good.
give it a full.
Bring it around town.
Oh, it had to
Oh.
climb.
Okay.
Well, that's actually not bad. We already determined the quality. That just means it's
This-
material wealth. That's
This
all
is
it
just
means.
what you find, yeah. So as you open the thing up, you pull this back, and it's kind of like... you've seen tapestries and illustrations of, you know, numerous myths and legends, and there's often this kind of archetypical scene where the hero opens a chest and there's practically like god rays, you know, like solar beams coming from it because of all the gold in it. It's like that. You open it up and the bottom half of the chest is just gold coins. It's just all the fucking gold and silver you could want.
Oh my god.
Like, you don't know exactly what it numbers to, but it's just, you know, it's, think of like, maybe like, I don't know why I want to measure everything in shoe boxes, but maybe like 6 or 7 shoe boxes filled with coins.
That's all that's in there, just gold.
It's just coins.
Gold. Fuck.
Yeah, you can see some of it's silver, or maybe plat, who knows, but most of it's gold.
Don't tell Edgar.
We'll have to return this to its rightful...
I'm contractually obligated to tell Kalik. Give him half of it.
So as you lift this, it's just like, ah, like this golden beam. You know, maybe it's the nearby lantern reflects off of it and hits you in the face. What do you want to do?
Shut it. Well, let's see. Let me take, like, I don't know. Gold weighs so much. Fuck.
Just lock the chest, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna shut it, lock it, and do my best to barricade the door.
Oh, okay. So you walk over to the door. As you go towards the door, you see, like, you're like, oh, okay. You step past what must be a dismembered arm on the ground, and there's like another guy nearby who's holding like half of a crossbow, and you get up to the door, and you kind of have to like roll over a nearby corpse in order to get enough space to close the door, but you close it and start barricading the thing. And,
With dead bodies.
As you barricade it, though, you hear something. Running down the hallway are some footsteps, and it sounds like a singular person. What do you want to do? Like, you have not had time to block this beyond rolling a single person's corpse in front of the door.
Okay. I'm gonna perch back behind. I'll just scurry back.
Okay.
I'm gonna perch. Take the key. I already locked the chest. That was like the first thing I did, and then kind of do my best. Not just kind of tuck myself away behind, maybe behind the door or behind those barrels again, and see what's coming.
Which one?
The barrels.
Okay. So you go hide in your familiar spot, and as you run over there, you just barely get around into the barrels before somebody just smashes on the door and the thing opens up, and somebody runs in, and you can hear them just breathing heavy. They don't seem to be battle wounded or, like, you know, moaning in pain like the last one was, but this person's just run a marathon sort of thing, and he's like, just immediately runs over for the chest, and as he goes for it, he goes, oh, fuck, and he starts looking around, and then you watch as he goes over towards this body that's on the floor there, flips over the dead man, and just starts, like, tearing through his pockets, and while he's doing this, he's like, oh, god damn it, and you hear something else. Another set of footsteps comes running down the hallway, and not only do you notice it, but he turns and looks towards the door there, and then as he's there, he looks around, and I want you to make an insight check.
19.
You know immediately what's going through his head as he looks around. He's looking for a place to hide, and then he looks over towards your barrels.
Fuck.
That noise, I love it.
So while you think about that, meanwhile, up here, Edgar, Annabelle, you're both still tied up. Annabelle's just talking sass from her seated position on the ground, and Edgar has just human torpedoed a guy. And I'm gonna roll persuasion for the guy in the turban here.
In the turban?
Oh no.
Oh no!
His words are not as honeyed, and his friend just pulls out the mace and walks over and swings it right at you there, Edgar. And I'm gonna roll
Bring
to see
it
if he
on,
hits you.
bitch.
Oh!
What?
The assist from Tidge.
My indecision has cost me.
Does a 19 hit you?
Well, my shield wouldn't work. Yes, it does, but I'm gonna do something feisty. I'm gonna channel divinity because we had our short rest.
Sure.
And I'm going to use my hey, rebuke the violent. As a reaction, after a creature within 30 feet attacks and damages another, I can rebuke it, and it takes the same damage it dealt, but as radiant. And it has a wisdom saving throw to have it. So I'll take the damage.
Okay.
but-
So let's see.
Motherfucker's about to get mirror shielded.
He hits you for 10 damage and strikes
Minus
you.
3, because I have heavy armor, whatever master thing it's called.
He smashes you there in like a uppercut strike that hits right into your chest piece here, and the chainmail does what it can, but you kind of are winded by the thing. But strangely enough, as he does this, he too is suddenly struck by a blast of radiant light right in his gut, and he kind of staggers back, having just been torpedoed there a moment ago, and he just looks at you like you're a fucking ghost. Like, his face changes from being one of complete anger and rage to like, what is happening? And after that, he just takes like a step or two back, and the other one's still pulling at him. He's like, come on, man, it's not worth it. Let's get the fuck out of here. And he just goes, yeah, that's a good idea. And the two of them just start running. And
Bye, skis!
you guys run over here, and as you do, there's a huge fight going on with a whole bunch of people, all just in these tiny little skirmishes. You see some people fleeing, others, stabbing each other on the ground, and nobody actually stops the two of you as you run up to Edgar and Annabelle, who are currently chained to one of these houses.
Oh, hello. Oh, fuck. I'm proficient in thieves' tools. Pretty sure. Can I pick my lock?
Do you have these
She
tools on you?
says after 20 minutes.
Let me look at my backpack. Yes, I do.
Sure. Make a thieves tool check for me.
Oh, motherfucker.
How close are we? I'm sorry.
You
You're
are
within
running
5
up on them now.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Oh, never mind. This
Really? That's not gonna do anything.
Well, you should have a pretty high modifier if you're a thief.
7.
Okay. You start to fiddle around with your thieves' tools there, and you're having a lot of trouble. It's not easy to undo a lock when you can't see it and your hands are behind your back. And before you can finish, your hands, still holding onto the tools, it looks like Kalek and Arillo run up to you.
Oh no,
no,
it's
you
out
don't
of his
have
mouth.
the gag.
Oh, right. Come on, guys. Quick.
I'll,
I present my back to Arillo here.
There's the sound of swords clashing. Somebody Wilhelm screams in the background.
I untie Edgar, or
Okay.
cut his ropes or whatever.
Edgar, you are
Handcuffs.
free. However, your hands are still bound behind your back by a set of handcuffs.
same thing. I'll cut the rope, but
Mike, make a strength check for me to break his handcuffs.
Sure,
Without
make a strength
Evolution
roll.
allows it.
don't break his wrists.
You're a Goliath, my man, so I
And
believe in you.
my
It just breaks
strength
both of your hands instead.
Oh, damn.
My strength is a
17.
+3. So that's
So 20.
You grab a hold of the manacles here, and Edgar, you're like, okay, he doesn't have the key. What's he gonna? And then just like they pop apart.
Fuck yeah. I'll go grab my sword and my shields. I mean, maybe my shield's on my back, so I'll get fully equipped.
Sure, yeah.
Because the guy took a hand, I basically threw coin on the ground. He tried to grab some, and then I tackled him. Did he like drop them?
Oh no, because he pocketed it before that
Okay.
happened.
I got you. It's all good. Edgar wouldn't think of that
So yeah,
anyway.
you lost 10 coin, I'll say.
10. Okay, cool.
Okay, so if Kalek cut the ropes that were keeping them behind my back, but I still have manacles on, is that correct?
Yeah, so you are free from the house and everything. There's no rope tying you to the house, but you're wearing handcuffs that keep your wrists.
Can I sit down and like loop my arms around to my front?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. And then can I try again? Now
Sure.
that I can see them.
I'd like to, while she's doing that, if possible. How many people are near me, roughly, that are still alive? and
You see
fighting?
what looks like
Oh
a
my-
dozen that are still alive, and they're not really near you. They're kind of like closer towards the entrance and
Yeah.
involved in a huge bloody battle.
Can I close in on them? I'll
Sure.
just run, even if the boys aren't following me.
Okay, yeah, you break away from the group and run towards them.
And I'm gonna cast sleep
Oh, okay.
on like the nearest mob that I can.
Sure. Go ahead and roll for sleep there.
I see what I need to roll. I keep forgetting. Sleep is 5d8. Okay.
When his manacles broke, did they just fall to the ground or what?
No,
She's
it's just
still
the chain in
wearing-
between. So Edgar's wearing like handcuffs on each of his wrists.
That's 20. Do I add my modifier? No, I
No.
don't. So it's just 21.
There's a group nearby of 3 people, 2 of which are kind of like teaming up on this one guy who's trying to fend them off with the buckler and shield, and you just hold out the spell, and all 3 of them just fall to the ground asleep.
I'm gonna do that 2 more times on different mobs.
Oh, sure. Yeah, roll again. See if you can get enough here.
14.
Let's see how wounded they are. Okay. There's 1 mob left for your last sleep spell.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
28.
Okay. You run over, and the sound of clattering weapons hits the ground as one group falls. You run towards another one, and they fall. And then this last group, kind of like, one of them notices, like he turns around, like most of the sound has disappeared, and then he just kind of hits the deck, and everybody falls asleep, and all the fighting is done.
I do the Obama. Not bad.
That's funny you mentioned that, because when the mutiny thing first started, I was thinking of the, like, it's happening, Ron Paul. Now,
The meme videos too, where they take him like shaking and there's lightning in the
Yeah,
back.
it's like a rave or whatever. Now, down in the other room there, Tidge, you're hiding in the corner. This guy looks and he stares over towards you. Are you gonna do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Hex on him.
Okay,
Excuse me. And I'll give him disadvantage on strength checks.
okay,
And then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him in the face.
sure. Make an attack with advantage since he has no idea. Like, he's like, oh, I can hide there, and then a fucking, like, gnome pops out.
No more mage hand trolling. He just went straight to the dirt.
That is 17 plus 4, so 21.
You definitely hit all damage.
Bye.
Shoot.
Oh, I thought that was damage. I was like,
That'd be
what
hilarious.
level? What level are we?
Alright, so that's 1d10. That's a 12, you dummy.
First of all, this is the best, most well-executed plan we've ever had. Let's
Ended
face it.
D6 for Hex. Stop it.
I have to find out how long.
4, so plus because of agonizing blast 2, 6 whopping damage.
Okay. You strike him here with this Eldritch Bolt, and he does a full 360 as you hit him in the shoulder. Like, he staggers backwards, does a spin, and then he just looks at you like he's completely, like he's a deer in the headlights, like just staring at you.
I'm gonna do it again if I can.
Roll an attack.
16.
Roll damage.
10, 12.
You shoot him a second time here, and this time it punctures, like, through his chest, and the crackling bolt, like, escapes out the back of him. And he's still wearing that dumbfounded face, staring at you as he falls to his knees and keels over. And behind him, as he kind of falls to his knees, you see the door open more, as this other set of footsteps comes in, and you watch another bandit run into the room. And he's like, He's got a short sword in his hand, which is completely crimson, and his fingers and fist are just like dripping blood on the ground. And he looks over and sees you standing there in the corner as this guy kind of like falls to his knees with like a hole in his chest, and then just slumps down, and he just kind of freezes in the doorway.
I'll move my hex if I can and do the same thing.
Make an attack, please.
It's a 22.
Roll damage.
We're gonna get in there and it's gonna look like the Rwandan genocide. God damn.
Oh no.
That's 15 damage.
It's like the fucking Fallout VATS when the head just pops right off. You hit him right there in the neck, and just whoosh, the thing kind of like bounces off the sidewall, and his body just falls over to the ground.
I'm just gonna be standing on top of the barrels and like that, like half crouched down with my arms really splayed out and just like breathing heavily. It's my gold, bitches.
Okay. The room goes silent, and after this guy's head explodes and the sound of blood hitting the ground and giblets rolling around, kind of subsides, you notice something. It's quiet. It's like, it's real quiet. Your heart's pounding and you're breathing heavy, but you don't hear any battle from outside.
Okay. I'll sigh real quick. Real heavy, actually. And I'll just make my way to the door and just peek up and down the hallway.
The hallway is strewn with bodies.
We've made them implode. No.
I'm gonna shut and barricade the door.
Okay. You go back to it, and meanwhile, up top here, Annabelle, what was your thief roll that you made the second time?
A 10.
A 10? Okay. You managed to pop off these manacles here.
Oh,
And,
baby.
When you're kind of concentrating on this, but for Arillo and Kalik, you guys are able to see that Edgar runs over, and one by one, kind of like waves out his hand and just sends like all these injured bandits to the ground, and now the only thing you can really hear is like soft and gentle snoring.
Can I just run around, try to find some like rope to restrain these guys?
Sure, there's plenty of rope around.
Toss them to Arillo.
Guys, be careful. Don't hurt them or jog them awake.
I suggest we restrain them, though.
And I nod. I'm going in. I need to find Tidge. And I'm gonna run in, sword and shield in hand.
When you go running down there, you find that there are bodies all over in the tunnel here, and perhaps
I'll be
most
shouting
of
Tidge over and over, sorry.
Okay. You hear Edgar's voice as he goes, shouting and running down the hall. It's clear
Kind
he's
of
coming
panicked.
towards you.
Yeah.
And when you finally get to the door there, Edgar, you see like a body that has a neck that ends in like flaps, basically.
Oh.
Like it's like it goes from being, battle wounds to, oh my god, what happened here? Now,
Tidge!
as you hear this, Tidge, what do you do?
I'm in here, and I'll start to move the whatever I put in front of
Oh,
Doro out of the way.
thank Metri, you're alive. Are you alright?
I didn't expect it to work. That was ridiculous.
You hear him moving things from behind the door, and then finally the thing opens, and you see him. There he is. Tidge looks fine. He's completely, like, out of breath and exhausted, but he is completely clean, save for his boots, which are, like, covered in blood, and you can see why, because the room behind him is not much better than the hallway.
I'll
drank the
pick
potion.
you up. I'll basically pick you up to shoulder level and just be like, my god, little man! Is this
He
you?
drank it. I didn't think he was gonna do it. I knew he wasn't gonna do it, and he did it, and I could. And then all that happened, and there's a lot of gold in that chest over there.
Oh, forget about that, and I'll give him like a quick hug, pat on the back, drop him onto the ground. We're all okay, and we managed to keep some of the bandits alive. Come here, come. And I'll run back outside.
Sure.
Should we leave him? Should we leave the captain here?
I'll kind of skid to a halt on the blood, trying to not face plant. Look over. The captain? And I'll run back in.
You see
Yeah.
that the boss is laying there, and unlike the other ones, which are completely, battle scarred and everything, he looks like he's fine. And next to him, there's like, the cup.
Tid, you're a beautiful bastard. Wow. Look, we can. we're not gonna get any more resistance. Don't worry about that. We'll leave him here for now.
Fucking hope not.
Look, come out. There's a lot of people that need restraining, and we'll figure it out. We need to breathe and assess the situation. Come.
Okay. I need some fresh air.
Now, how long does sleep last for?
Here's the thing. 5th edition player's handbook, the grimoire, even the official website, there's no end. It says each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious until the spell ends. The sleeper takes damage. Oh, never mind.
lasts
I'm
a minute.
retarded. There's a straight up duration thing. I was reading the paragraph. It's 1 minute.
I was like, I think you're high. So, as you cast all this
Oh
and,
my
go running
God.
after Tidge, you guys are having this interaction. And for the rest of you, these guys are starting to wake up. I want to see some rolls to see if you three can get them all tied up before they wake in a minute. So, how about we do I'll say you can do a dexterity or strength check, your choice.
That was like me looking for the tobacco again, looking everywhere but where I'm supposed to fucking look. My god.
Do you want me to roll for you again, Steve?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my
What do you want to do, dex or strength?
Let's do strength because my my strength's a +3 instead of a +2.
Oh my! Oh! 21! He rolled an 18, Arillo! What'd you
21.
roll?
Oh.
An 8. Okay, well that's fine.
So,
+3. So.
who is the light blue there?
Me.
Okay.
Okay.
Annabelle, you're tying the last one up when he starts to kind of like flicker there and his eyes, start to move around, and he wakes there. And you guys have kind of rounded them all up and managed to, tie their arms to their sides and everything, except for this last guy. And you're kind of like, you got the rope in your hand and you're, kneeling in front of him there, about to tie him when he wakes up in a start. What do you do?
Can I hit him on the head?
I was about to say bonk him.
Sure. How are you hitting him?
With something large and heavy.
Okay. Do you have something large and
like
heavy
a rock.
on you, or are you improvising?
Is there a rock nearby?
Sure, I'd say there's like a fist-sized boulder.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna smack him with that.
Make an attack roll.
Wait, do I have a crowbar? I think I have a crowbar. Like a pry bar.
Sure. Do you have one?
Oh.
You start with one as a thief for sure.
No,
If you took the
because I had to
burglar kit-
buy it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine most of you guys didn't buy kits at the beginning.
Nope, I don't.
You
I
don't?
did.
Okay.
I have tinker tools.
But I'll use that rock.
Sure. Make an attack roll. And treat it as a weapon you're not proficient in.
Oh my god.
Dude, Connor spread his space aids onto you.
Let's play Malzahar, so.
God.
What is that roll?
I don't know, 6? Plus. If I don't have proficiency.
Do you have strength?
She has a
No.
flat 10, so...
I have a flat. Nothing.
You reach over it and grab this rock and then swing it at him, and he leans back and avoids it and immediately like rolls over and goes to run. You guys hear
You got
Annabelle
Arana!
suddenly excitedly scream there for a moment and watch as one of these captives starts bolting it.
Can I just cast Guiding Bolt on him?
Sure. Go for it. Make an attack roll.
What's my spell? Mod 4. So. How's that? Whew. Yay.
Yeah, you hit him.
20, 21.
Roll damage.
Is it 46?
46.
While you roll that,
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna pee. It'll take 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Things are turning around.
The other bandits are waking up here, and many of them are already kind of like murmuring and stuff and, you know, coming out of their slumber when suddenly there's a loud blast, and the first thing that they see as they come out of unconsciousness is one of their men just being, like, burned to a crisp here by a guiding bolt and falls to the ground with, like, a huge sort of smoldering mark in his back as he just collapses into the ground.
After smiting him, I'll bring down my fist and I'll pull out my pistol and I'll aim it to the other guys. Nobody else move, you hear?
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Why are there ghosts?
Wait. That's a 6. No, that's a 4.
You hold out the pistol there, and the ones that are close to you freeze, but one at, like, the very back of the line just, like, starts doing, like, a little burrito roll, trying to escape.
Aurelio!
Yes.
Arillo looks to you and says yes, and the man continues to burrito roll. He gets up to his feet.
I point to the guy burrito rolling.
Kill.
Stop him, please.
He's on his feet now, and he starts running.
Don't kill him. Just stop
All right.
him.
Alright, I make an attack to knock him down,
Okay. Make an attack.
to stop him. Alright, roll, please.
4 plus whatever. 5, I guess. 9.
Yep, 5.
You swing at him, but he leaps and avoids your tripping attack and just goes running off. Are you chasing after him?
I will chase after him and tackle the motherfucker.
Okay. Make an athletics roll to catch up with him, please.
Alright,
If I
that's
can,
like
while
plus
he's
5.
doing this, I'd like to
Nat
try
20.
to intimidate.
So that's 25.
Okay. He goes running there, and he's fast. You know, he's running for his life, and then you tackle him with that 20, like just football, bring him down to the ground, into the dirt, and you've got him. There's no escape for him now.
I'd like to try to intimidate the rest of the prisoners that are here.
Sure.
I'll say something like, look, you try to run, the Goliath will take you down. You might not come back alive. Stay here. Promise you, we won't kill you.
Oh, is there any rope around? Like, near me?
There's lots of rope.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take, like, a little piece of rope and then tie the one dude's hands together and then hoist the rope over my shoulder and then just drag him back? Like, his hands tied up like that?
Sure, yeah. You can bind his hands
Just
together.
to scare people?
So, Kalik, Annabelle, Tidge, I suggest we tie their ankles, the bit of slack so they can walk, make sure their hands are bound behind their backs, and then start connecting them in pairs of 3 or trios of 3. So if one tries to run, the other 2 don't, they're stuck. You guys, again, won't kill you if you don't run, otherwise, big guy after here. I can't control him. You saw him.
They
And,
all
yes.
just kind of shut up and look around here as your group sort of, you know, clusters around them, and this guy is tossed back.
So I'll start doing that. Yeah, I'll like basically 2 loops around the ankles, like really strong knots with a rope in between,
Mhm.
with a bit of slack so they can shuffle. And then I'll do like rope from the first guy to the middle to the last, and I'll do them in groups of 3, and I'll start like isolating them.
Okay. Now, while this is happening, are you guys doing anything?
Can, well, I mean, we're just, following along with whatever Edgar said, right?
Is
Just
it-
tying them up.
Is there a way that we could bind them up so that they could carry the leader back? Why should we have to work if we've got free labor right here?
Are there any horses around?
No.
Is there a cart?
Of course not, Illusion. Of course not. You would never give us horses.
You do see a cart nearby, and it looks like one that must have been ransacked from the road here. It could still be in functioning order, though you don't see any horse to carry it.
Oh, we've got plenty of horsepower here.
I agree, Tidge. We'll saddle them up. We'll make them walk back with the rest of the bodies in there, including the leader, and we'll walk them right back to Oris Ren. You mentioned something about a chest back there.
Oh, I did.
Is it big enough where Aurelio can carry it?
It might be. Aurelio, why don't you come with me?
Alright.
Well, yeah, you can help me start dragging the bodies out. Well, I won't be much good with that, but
I can
take a look
definitely
at
help
his
with
chest
that.
anyway. I'll lead Aurelio in towards the chest.
Okay.
I'll just stand guard on the group.
I'll help Edgar.
So you two are able to head back in, and walking past all the carnage, get to this chest. And Aurelio, it's not the lightest thing, but you are able to carry it. And,
He's maybe pushing it, but can you carry that and that guy there? I guess we could make a couple of trips.
Can I throw the guy over my shoulder
Sure.
and then still carry the chest?
You're moving slow, but you take both of them and gradually make your way back up the tunnel. Are you doing anything else?
No. Unless you're talking to...
Can I take a look around in... yeah, I'd like to take a look around inside.
Sure. You can make an
This
investigation
chamber.
check. See if you find anything.
14.
Okay. Looking around in here, you do find that there are some other items that might be of worth. Notably, on the table, you see a little candle holder that looks like it might be made of silver, and you also see what looks like a version of the world map there that has a dagger kind of plucked down into it. You also see that some of the people here who are strewn about the ground have some coin on them, and if you want to take it, it amounts to 18 gold.
Okay, yeah, I'll grab that.
Okay. So you kind of, you have enough time to rifle through some pockets since Aurelio is dragging like a person and a chest filled with coin. And after that, the two of you emerge and come back towards the group there, and you guys see this big chest in Aurelio's arms and, the bandit leader's over his shoulder.
Do we need the entire body? Or can we just bring them his head?
Aurelio, if I'm being honest, it's just one opinion, but I'd rather not dismember the man. And like Tid said, we have plenty of people that can truck along. So
Alright.
we're not the ones that are going to be carrying them.
Toss him in that cart over there. Toss him in the cart. And are we
Also-
grabbing anybody else?
His lieutenants there, the guys that were helping him lead, they could have some interesting things, and I'm sure they have bounties as well. And while I'm talking, I'd like to start thoroughly disarming everybody. I'm talking, like, I'm doing a full TSA invasive pat down, plus I'm throwing
Putting
any
your fingers up
weapons
their
they
butt?
have a little bit.
That's what invasive means.
Yeah, and throwing all the weapons, every little thing, even thieves' tools,
Sure.
daggers, whatever it is, all throwing it into a separate pile. If anything interesting, they'll let me know.
Okay. Go ahead and make a luck roll, please. Looks like it's going to be Connor.
Oh
I have
no.
to pee really bad. I'll be
Sure,
right
we can
back.
do a 5-10 minute break here before the luck roll. This is when we would normally take our break, so we'll be back in 5 here.
It happens
Please roll.
every time Connor
roll
takes a
first.
luck roll.
Please.
It's good, we have to build suspense, right?
When we get
We
back,
built suspense for 2 weeks for a stupid mouse companion.
You
No,
haven't
it's
even used it yet. Maybe that mouse is super rad.
it's gonna be cool.
He's like 20 feet tall.
Yeah, it's like an elephant-sized
bitches?
mouse. with like a Gatling gun on his back and a saddle.
Oh my god.
Shoots lasers out of its eyes.
Would you rather fight 100 elephants? Mouse-sized elephants, or one elephant-sized mouse?
Would you rather fight 100 elephants vomits into his own mouth?
No.
Ugh. I'm gonna use the bathroom too. I'll be back.
Lack of sleep is getting to me.
Same.
Oh my god, that was our first really major successful welfare day.
How do we do
Oh,
it?
yeah.
You
I
did
don't
it.
know.
I was sitting in there waiting. I was like, we're all gonna die. It was like the little shack and Theo's guards all over again.
Yep.
Yes! Oh!
Yep.
I
Oh,
have that's
shit.
such a good memory. That's
I was like,
such
we
a good
split
memory.
the party, and this is what happens.
Oh,
Yep.
Aldrin taking 50 bolts, fucking
Yep.
Connor going through with
The
a
door.
shield that's a door and busting someone's face open.
That was badass.
That was a fucking oh.
That was
Yeah,
a fun
I
night.
avoided becoming the human porcupine of arrows.
That was Ervias's job.
Yep.
Revive what?
In the mini campaign.
Yeah, I know. He's
Yep.
the archer man.
Yeah. Just dancing on cannons, taking shots.
Shoot one ship and it just destroys the entire thing.
That was a strong ass firebolt.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, that went a lot better than planned.
That went so well.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
that
did.
luck roll, that 18 or 19 luck roll for the poison,
18.
Oh,
started
man.
an avalanche of just pure ecstasy. It was just like, I was just there mouth agape the entire time, like,
Well, it sat on one for like 10 seconds, I felt like, before
Yeah.
rocking back to 17.
Yeah, for the
Guarantee
next
you
one.
That is way better than the puzzle box.
Oh,
Oh my
That was
god.
pretty good.
Oh man.
Holy
I'll be back in a
sh-
moment. I gotta run to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I can't believe we fucking.
and the
And we're going back with a fat bounty check.
Yeah.
Fat
we got
bounty
a
check.
shit ton of gold, and they're gonna pay us a shit ton more.
And live prisoners, and we
Mhm.
clear the entire motherfucking place. Shit.
Shopping spree.
We're gonna get some sovereign stones, boys.
Man. You want to, like, we come back with a chest. I'd like to trade all of these people and this chest for one sovereign stone.
What the fuck did I come back to?
Then we all have a mini, like, rock, paper, scissors tournament to decide who gets it.
No, you split it into 5.
You can do that.
Smash it with a hammer.
There you go.
And then snort,
That reminds
snort
me
the
of
dust.
the fucking Tenacious D movie where they split the fucking pick and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was nice. That was très bien.
Are we good to go?
Steve
No,
just
Ashley.
left.
Or no, Ashley is here. Steve.
Wait, who?
I think the best part of that whole sequence is that you were threatening everybody with a Rillo, and because nobody knows about what I did in the little room.
Jesus Christ, with blood up to the
Oh.
ankles.
I love that so much.
Okay.
When
You
we
guys are
start
all
back up,
here. What's that?
while he's disarming them, can I just go through like house by house, like hut by hut, and start searching?
Ah. The different
I'd help
huts
him
here
with that.
are
Do-
basically
Do the
just
luck
this-
roll, you son of a bitch.
They're like
Oh,
the
that's
basic
right.
living quarters, and as you go around and look in between them, you find like little bed rolls and stuff like that with supplies. I do need a final loot roll from you here as you guys comb through the place and all the people.
Please, Gooby. Gooby. Gooby, please. Gooby. Gooby.
There's the Connor we know and love.
The different people here do not seem to have much when it comes to coin, and you managed to add, I would say about 7 gold and like 80 silver pieces to the treasure trove that you have there from going through their pockets and searching around. The other stuff that you find is like basic weapons. You find some leather armor that's all tattered, all that stuff. A whole bunch of rations that are stuffed into the different spots. That's about it.
What about the big cheese, like the leader? Does he have anything interesting, like a special weapon or something?
Looking at the big leader there, you do find something interesting on him. He has an arcane focus on his body that you guys managed to pull. But apart from that, that's the only thing. And the arcane focus is like a little crystal. Tidge, you would be familiar with it. It's probably worth like 10 gold.
Okay.
I'll start stacking the rations on the cart because we're probably gonna need to feed these guys.
Sure.
Make sure to keep it far away from the bodies.
It's just for them. It's not for us.
As far
No,
as
it's gravy.
rations go, you can add 60 rations to the cart.
Oh, damn. Holy shit, boys. So, we bring all these guys back to our rent, come back, and keep going down the mine to see what they were fucking scared about?
Is that the plan?
Hell yeah.
I don't know. It's just a tabletop session.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you know.
I'm down.
I could take a quick peek down and see what's there. I never went that far.
No.
Okay.
Let's not. Let's just. Dude.
Save the adventure.
Dude. We fucking wishboned our way through that entire fucking thing, alright? Like, we just need to bank on this, not pull an Edgar with the armor suits, just get our cash money, put it in a bank somewhere. Then we can come back.
Alright. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
I agree.
I'll pull
I guess-
Kalik aside as we're leaving, though.
Sure.
I guess we'll rope together. How many groups of 3 are there in terms of bandits alive?
You have a total of 12. There's a dozen bandits left. So you
Okay.
have 4 groups of 3.
So I guess we'll do 2 groups of 3. Like 3 in the front, 3 in the back, 3 in the front, 3 in the back, side by side.
Sure.
Rope them together to the cart and have them start walking.
Okay. The fear of death and all, these guys start to pull the cart. And this cart that you have here is actually kind of nice. You know, it's beaten up and it has crossbow bolts and blood smeared on it and all that. But the interior of it looks like it's relatively untouched. There's a bunch of kind of like nice cushions and things like that. It looks like the kind of carriage you would use to carry around like a few nobles. And although there's a few cuts, as there might have been a fight in here, they are rather comfy. So some of you maybe get on the top at the the front of the caravan to direct the thing. Maybe some of you go inside, or maybe some of you sit on top directly. But there's plenty of space for your group.
I'd go in and start counting the gold if I could after talking to Kalik real quick.
Sure, just sit in the main room with like the big chest.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, what do you talk to Kalik about?
Oh, I'll just give him 9 gold. I'll be like, here, I found this inside. I have to give you at least half.
Oh, I forgot about that. Cheers. And then I'll also
It's
I'll
just like
hand him-
covered in blood.
I'll hand him 4 gold. Well, then I owe you this.
Does it work that way? I don't remember. I thought it was just that I... Well, okay, thanks. And I'll pocket
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's both ways.
Is it? Okay,
We share amongst ourselves.
great. You want to help me count all this?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So the 2 of you get into the carriage there. Here, I'll draw the carriage real quick so you can kind of get like a representation. Let's say it looks kind of like that.
I'm sorry, how much did you hand me?
9.
Okay, thank you.
So you guys can put yourselves wherever.
I'd be walking out front with the guys.
Okay. Calyx inside with you. So you
Where
two
are you,
kinda
Arillo?
counting.
I'll be outside.
Sure. And Annabelle?
Or just put me next to Kalik then.
Go. Arillo, are you like walking alongside the carriage, or are you in the driver's seat?
Ooh. Driving or outside? I'll walk outside just to keep watch.
We need a driver, man. Be
There's
the driver.
currently no
okay, I'll
Be the
be the
Goliath.
driver. I'll be the driver.
All right. So you sit in the driver's seat there. It's a bit of an odd feeling sitting on one of these carts. You've seen the humans and their contraptions, but to have like a slew of 6 of them chained together, pulling the thing in front of you is a little bit odd. And Edgar is kind of walking in front, making sure nothing fishy happens, while the sound of gold and clinking can be heard from behind the little wooden barrier that is marking the division between you and the other 3.
I'd actually like to be like talking to them. If they're mumbling or something, I'd like to address that. And if it comes up, maybe talk about like the themes of redemption, how we're gonna be bringing them back to jail, that kind of thing. Anyways, whatever.
Okay,
If it
so
comes
make a persuasion roll as you're talking to them here.
Nat 20.
Jesus Christ. How far are you taking this? Are you like trying to convert them to your god? Or are you trying to just be like, spend your time or whatever? And it's worth mentioning that these guys are likely going to be put up for the chopping block, and you would know this, given how the Empire is with crime. They're a lot more strict than a lot of other places.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be, instead of trying to convert them to my god, I'll just tell them that it's time to make peace with whatever god they have, and that in the next couple of days while we're traveling, this is the time where they can look inward, find peace, and pay penance for the crimes that they've committed.
You give a long sort of sermon with them and address some of their concerns. And initially the conversation doesn't look like it's going well, but over the course of a couple of hours, they actually kind of fall into a sort of complacent attitude there. And you can tell that they realize what's coming, and they kind of accept it despite that, and just kind of continue pulling the cart there. And you don't think you're going to have any trouble from them.
I'd like to be helping them pull the cart too. Like, I'll be in the middle and I'll pull up a rope, and just like they are, because I have a penance of my own to pay as a redemption paladin,
Sure.
I'll be helping them pull the cart just as much as they are, if that makes sense.
As soon as I'm done helping Tej, I'm gonna hop out of the cart.
Okay.
Then
So
carry my ass.
first we have to determine how much gold is in there. Let's see here. There is 100 times whatever I roll with these 2 d6s.
Holy shit.
And we're gonna kill the small currency. So there's 500 gold pieces in this chest.
Nice.
That's legit.
And when you hop out here after counting the 500 gold, what are you doing, Killick?
I'm gonna trail behind, just keeping an eye from behind.
Sure. It's weird when you kind of come out here, Edgar had been talking for a while, and you weren't really sure what to expect, but the mood is quite different. It's almost like a somber and serene sort of thing, instead of a bunch of people grumbling about, dragging a cart like a bunch of pack animals.
I'll start taking some rations and go around,
Feed
see if
people.
anyone's hungry. Yeah, feed people.
Sure.
And I'll be humming like a military song that I learned for marching,
Okay.
and see if I can get them participating in that.
Tej and Annabelle, as you two are still in the room there, having just finished up counting this entire box, what do you want to do?
So, Tej, how'd you do it?
How did I do what?
How'd you kill him?
Oh, I poured the potion into his cup, and he just drank it. I was like 100% certain it wasn't gonna work, and then he just like shrugs his shoulders and downs it.
Wait, you were there in the room, and
It
you
was-
told him to drink it.
I didn't tell him to do anything. I just poured it in a cup, and then I hid behind some shit, and then I watched him die.
She like
That's about what
raises her eyebrows and cocks her head to the side.
Just straight
Wait,
faced.
Wait, hold on. I want you to make an insight roll, Annabelle.
Alright.
If you get less than 10, you think he's pulling your leg. Oh,
Oh
shit!
shit, yeah.
Yeah, he's lying to you. Like, he's spinning a yarn.
You're
know-
lying.
You know
I'm not
there's no way
lying.
that's what happened.
I looked
There's
the man
no
in
way.
the eye. I stared the man in the eyes, or the tiefling, whatever, and watched the life drain from him.
Right, and you're expecting me to believe this, that they don't notice you at all?
I was invisible. I can do this, and then I'll turn invisible,
Sure.
Right.
and then I'll snap
Okay.
back.
That's
you
pretty
see?
impressive, but they didn't notice you at all?
Not at all.
Not even pouring that stuff in his cup?
No one was in there when. That was when you guys were talking. Remember?
Oh, right, I forgot about that part.
I was in there for a while.
Beautiful.
I don't believe you, but I'll try my best, I guess.
I have faith that in time you'll come to believe. You don't have to believe. I mean, it happened. I guess. I mean, it's what happened.
I guess you've led some other parties before, so maybe it's plausible, but I don't know. There's something about it just doesn't sit right with me.
What about it don't you believe?
How can a wee man, such as yourself, kill this giant boss? You just stand there and look at him as he dies?
There you go.
Doesn't seem
Underestimate.
plausible.
What is everybody in this world underestimating the short people? What?
Alright, you know,
I told
I'm a
you.
woman.
Okay, so
and
here's
they
what
underestimate me too, so that's okay. What comes around goes around, I
I like to
suppose.
think Arillo hears all of this through the wood, just like sitting there watching these people pull the cart.
Everyone goes like, "Oh, it must have been the god. He must have come down. Like his patron came down and did all this. It couldn't have been Titch."
Okay, so I'm in there, and I'm just looking like I'm waiting. There's nobody there. I almost got caught like 3 times, and I take the potion and I empty it out into his cup, and then I go and hide behind these barrels. And he walks over towards this cask full of whatever it was. I don't know, beer or wine or something. And then looks in his cup, and then downs it, and that was it.
That
I
was
went
it.
in there. I went in there with the potion of death. Like you saw that happen.
Right, I suppose.
After he explains it, it kind of makes a bit more sense. But it's still pretty crazy, all the carnage that happened.
It's just weird. How'd you get everybody to start fighting each other?
That just kind of happened.
Oh, I see. So once he died, everybody was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I'm the winner now."
The one guy was like, "Oh." There were 2 other guys in there, like some henchmen dudes, and he's like, "Oh, you always were trying to kill him. You mutinied over here." And then he like stabbed him, and then the other guy ran away, and then some other shit went down, and I'm glad shit didn't go down my pants, to be honest, because that was pretty real.
It sounds pretty scary. I don't
was-
understand how you could stay so quiet if everybody's dying around you.
I don't know either. It
You're
was.
pretty
I've seen
brave,
some
kid.
I guess so. I've seen some crazy shit in my day.
Or stupid. I don't remember which.
I've
which
seen
is
a
more
fair
offensive.
amount of both. The end of the day, we survived, and I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I can't believe that we did.
I thought we were all gonna die.
I thought it was a suicide mission. I was like,
I
I'm going
figured-
in. I was,
Go ahead.
no, it was crazy. I didn't think he was gonna do it, and then he did it, and then I watched him die, and then they went and killed each other, and then I guess everybody killed themselves. Everybody, except for the horses we got up front.
I told Edgar when he had the gig in his mouth that he'd make a pretty good steed. He took it literally.
I guess so.
Edgar has no idea. He's just like, left foot,
It's just-
right foot.
Converting people to the Church of Metri. Oh,
Oh god.
Okay. The two of you have a weird cackle there after going over the day's events, and the carriage leaves, and you guys start to travel throughout the woods and head back to Oris Ren. Are you doing anything along the way, or just fast traveling?
I'd say beelining it.
I'll switch one of my spells to create water and make sure we have enough for everybody.
Okay.
I'll be laying on hands everybody as we walk.
Sure. Let's see here.
You said there were like some rips and tears inside the carriage.
Yeah.
I'll just cast mending and see if I can fix it up a little bit.
Could I also be inciting these 12 men and distinguish which ones are the cold-blooded motherfuckers and which ones are, I mean, if there are even any left, and which ones were just kind of caught in?
You see that, like, it's a few bad apples. Like, 3 or 4 of them seem to fall in line with that. But despite the fact that they seem to be more bloodthirsty and everything, you almost don't notice because they seem to have completely bought into your previous sermon.
Okay.
Now, the most crazy thing happens. When you guys go to bed there for the first evening, you fall asleep, kind of huddled up in a camp there, with everybody tied up so they don't run off or anything like that. And,
Rotating our guard, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the middle of the night, near the end of the last shift there, as the sun's starting to come up, time skips. And you guys all feel it. And what's insane is when you wake up, you're brought back to the sounds of a city around you. And as you guys start to wake, you find yourselves all each kind of like piled in on different spots in the caravan. And you're in a stable in the city during the morning where there's like people wandering around.
God damn.
Where am I?
I'd say you're probably inside there on one of the cushions.
Are all the guys still, like all the bandits still with us?
No. When you look outside,
Is the gold?
they're not there at all. The box of gold there is right where you left it.
Is the corpse of the leader still on the carriage?
No, it's not.
Please, don't tell me. Don't tell me we. Did we?
We didn't
You
just
know.
lose everything, did we?
Better open that chest. Find out.
Yeah, I'll open it.
Sure. The only person sleeping outside is Arillo, who's laying down on the driver's bench, while the other 4 are packed into this cart. And when you guys open it up, you find that it's filled with coin.
Oh, good.
Guys,
As much as before.
Yep, it looks completely the same.
Guys, look, when I spoke to those men out there, I think they understood what was going to happen. And if we're here now, we are all familiar with these time skips. Usually we stay on the same spot, which means, by some miracle, that they brought us along, I guess. I don't know what happens to our bodies. We discussed this before, but I think we need to go seek out the guard captain and see if they've turned themselves in.
Yeah. What's his name?
I'll hop out of the carriage and see if there's like a stable hand or somebody nearby.
Okay. As you hop out of the carriage, you do find a stable hand nearby. It looks like he's getting a bunch of ropes ready for one of the horses. And when you pop out, he looks over and just kind of gives you a nod.
I'll just kind of like
Morning.
shrug and yawn. Oh man, sorry, I was really out of it. How long have we been here?
What do you mean?
I came in with this carriage.
Oh, how long? Well, it's been a while. And he kind of smiles and nods to you, and he says, "But you don't have to worry about it. It's all paid for."
What day is it?
He says, goodness, what is it?" And he kind of like looks around and stares at the sun off in the distance and turns back and goes, "Oh yeah, it's the 6th.
Oh, well, we'll be out of your hair shortly.
Well, you paid for it for another 10 days, so I wouldn't really worry. But if you need to head out, just let me know if you're leaving.
Will do.
Don't know what
kinda
you're gonna
nod.
do without a horse, though.
Oh, we'll find out something.
Would I be hearing this?
Yeah, you'd
Yeah,
hear their conversation outside.
I'll kind of poke my head out. Sir,
Yeah?
2 things. Who paid up our tab again?
It was the guard.
And I'll kind of smile to myself and just lean back a little more relaxed. Wow.
I'm gonna pop up over Calic's shoulders. How much is a horse? Not just to rent it, to keep it.
Well, it depends if you want something. I've got a nice and sturdy one here for 30 gold. If you want something a bit faster, though, it's gonna cost you.
Oh, Calic, I've always wanted a pony.
Not now, maybe later.
I could probably do 60 if you want a good courser.
Can we put that on hold?
Alright. Well, like I said, you're welcome to keep this parked here for another 10 days.
I'll pop my head out. What of the men that we came in with?
What do you mean?
Where did they end up?
Of
Did the
guard?
guards take them?
There was no men, it was just the guard. Just came, parked the thing, paid to have it sit here for a while.
Well, looks like we need to go have a talk with the guard.
We gotta go find Skylar. So,
And I'll just what are we gonna do with the chest though? Can't have Arillo haul the thing around. I don't think it's safe to leave it here.
We can
why don't we...
take it to the bank and exchange it for some lighter coin.
It's all in
Real-
the same place.
That would be in the same spot, too, yeah. Unless you
Arillo and
wanna
I
go to the
could
side bank.
we could even just deposit it. We don't need to have the coin on us.
How much are you dropping off, sir? Puts a fucking chest on the counter.
It might be
500,
good.
count it.
It might be good to start an account if we're going between here and Boston. Anywhere in the Empire, usually you draw the gold and they keep pretty diligent records. I can go ahead and set up an account in your name, Tidge, if you'd like.
Why don't we set it up as more of a party one?
Sure. Here, I'll hand out a piece of paper. If you could write down your first and last names. Arillo, do you mind coming with me?
Wherever you need to go, I'll follow right behind you.
Alright, Arillo and I'll carry the chest if you guys don't mind. Maybe you can sort out the situation, the guard, since you met him before. I wasn't there with you. And we'll meet back here in a bit.
We could, or since we're going to the same place, we could all just walk together.
Oh,
I feel like it would be...
I didn't realize Skylar was near the bank. Okay.
Yeah, they're all in that. They're all in that big hub.
Why
Oh,
don't we
beautiful.
stick together.
Excellent. Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Your group hoists this thing up, Arillo takes the massive chest, and off you go down the road. It's quite early in the morning, and while there are people wandering through the streets, a lot of them seem to have not quite gotten up, and your travel block by block, you can feel the city sort of waking up, and sure to what the man's told you, if you had to guess what season it was that you were in the 6th of, there is a beautiful blazing sun coming over the horizon, and you're pretty sure that summer is going to be fast upon you. Now, are you guys talking about anything while you wander through the road?
I'd be quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll kind of like nudge up against Edgar and like slip 12 gold into his pocket.
What's this for?
Part of what I owe you.
Oh, thank you. 3 left to go.
You're on it.
And by the way, and I'll kind of soften up. Forget the interest with this whole time skip thing. Let's just call it an easy 15, and I'll hand him the
You hand me what?
your pearl that you use to identify things with.
Oh, fantastic.
Ah,
I just kind of like grin and nod.
I don't think I'll be needing this anymore.
okay.
Thank you. And
Of
I'll, oh, I was a little worried. I wasn't sure how much interest with the time skip.
No, look, I'm I'm a reasonable man, especially when I'm dealing with someone who, time and time again, helps me do Metri's work. So appreciate that.
Imagine if we had skipped like 15 years.
Well,
I'd be
then I would have
fucked.
definitely charged the interest at that point. I'll just kind of grin at him. I'm like, okay.
By this time, you guys have made it to the steps of the consulate, and the city is now in full swing. And as well, this large complex, which is the heart of not just the city, but the empire itself, is bustling with people. And you guys, kind of walk up the steps and get into this main lobby. And what are you doing first? The bank?
I think the bank, right? We don't want to be hauling this fucking
Yeah.
thing around.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's heavy, and while Arillo is quite strong and everything, it is annoying to have to lug around. And so you guys go into the bank, and before long end up at one of the tellers there. And when they look to you guys, seeing this large fortune and everything, what are you doing exactly?
I guess I'll kind of announce we need a private room for a large deposit and opening of an account.
What kind of account are you opening?
This will be a fund with multiple persons on file, and we'd like to have an account that's accessible throughout the empire. Ideally, something that can accrue some interest and savings over time.
Are any of you citizens?
I am.
I'll look to Tidge, yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Tidge Brindlestock.
Give me a moment, please. And you see this person gets up, he leaves the little desk and kind of disappears, and after a couple of minutes comes back and he says, "Right, the Brindlestock family. We can have this opened up for you. You'll be the principal holder, but anybody can access the account if that's what you intend to have."
Of course.
Perfect. And how much are we depositing?
Thunk.
How about
Are we
Edgar?
doing the whole thing? Or
Edgar, how about we keep 100 just for, I don't know, expenses we might need on our next little trip?
By all means, like
Maybe
I agreed upon, I don't need the party gold. So if you guys want to include me and allow me to purchase some equipment, I find that very gracious of you, and I appreciate it. But whatever you guys want to do with the money is up to you.
Maybe not deposit 100 and have 20 amongst each of us, and then deposit the rest.
That sounds
it
reasonable.
works for me.
So how are you splitting it? What are you putting in?
So we'll put 400 in.
Okay, so somebody take a card and start recording that.
Alright.
Somebody decide to be the Monopoly bank here. Who took that on, by the way?
I did.
You did? Okay. So go ahead and write that down. 400 in a joint account there. You guys are handed a little contract to sign. Edgar, after looking it over, it looks completely normal. It's all boilerplate, and the rest, are you guys going to sign into it?
Does it have any interests over time? Where
It does. It's probably enough to get you like a couple copper pieces after like 10 days sort of thing. So it's minuscule, but yeah, it will grow in the bank.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll
looking it over, if it looks good, I'll give everyone a nod and I'll go ahead and sign.
Are we able to withdraw it somewhere else within the Empire?
Yes, so any of the imperial banks in or in Aurelium will let you take money out. Anybody here who's on the account can access it.
Go, forget which cities are Aurelium
The
specific.
3 at the south.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
so all 3 of these are.
I got you.
Now, they mentioned to you that if you're going to be leaving the city, it would be good to take identification with you so that you could possibly use other banks, because other places will also let you access the account. Not every city, but there are some that will.
I'll look at the teller. Would noble papers or a family sigil ring suffice?
That would. Are you all nobles?
Far from it.
I am afraid to say I might be the only one.
If you wish to keep it that way, then that's perfectly fine. But for your friends, if you wish, we can have IDs made up for you. It's only 2 gold each, and you'll be able to take money out from the account in other cities that are friendly to the Empire. Seba, for instance.
Seems like a good idea to me.
Look to the others. And
I'll just hand over my noble papers and my family signet ring.
Sure.
I'll plop down 2 gold, and then I'll slip Edgar another 3.
Okay.
I'll put down the 2 as well.
Alright.
When a Metri contract has been fulfilled, does anything cool happen to it, or is it just like on the back end?
It's on the back end, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, I'll look to him and I'll take the contract we signed and I'll just rip it in half and I'll give him half of it. Whatever. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Sure.
I'll just pocket it.
Okay. With that, you guys pay some coin over and are given little ID cards that you can add to your inventory. So you literally have an Aurelian bank card in your inventory. And not only will this let you access the bank in certain spots, but it proves who you are. So you could potentially use that for other things. So you guys all have that, and the 400 gold is taken. It's a bit of a lengthy process to count the whole thing, but eventually the account is set, and you guys are all good to go. And as far as the 100 goes, were you splitting that 20, 20, 20, 20, 20?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys take that, get a little bit of spending cash, and are you headed out of the bank?
Yeah. Well, I guess. Headed
Okay.
to the guard captain.
Alright. You guys head out and go looking for this particular guard captain. And you find him in one of the little offices nearby. The guards seem to have their own station within the consulate, and when you get there asking for him specifically, some people kind of look at one another, and somebody goes off and does some questioning, and before long, you are brought to a little office that consists mostly of a desk with a few chairs, and you see the familiar man from before, and he beckons for you guys to come inside. Citizens, what is it?
It's good to see you again, Captain Skylar. We have news of the Jackknife Gang.
He kind of looks at you. He says, have we met?
A time ago. About a week, I'd say. Well, perhaps more now.
Forgive me, it's been busy. And he says, please, have a seat. The Jackknife Gang, you said.
Yes, we were able to dismantle them.
And?
Well, we're here to collect the bounty.
I believe that bounty was already collected. Here, give me a moment. Let me find some papers here. And he leaves the office with you guys all packed into this room.
So I suppose we probably should have expected that.
If someone were to cheat us, I would know who before we leave.
I agree.
Left in this waiting room for a bit, the door eventually opens back up, and the captain comes back, and he has not only in his hand what looks to be some papers that he's looking at, but a huge grin on his face, and what appears to be a golden bar in his other hand. And he goes and sits down and he says, "All right, I didn't handle this one myself, but I believe that's yours." And he puts down a gold bar in front of you guys.
Oh, damn. Like an ingot?
Yeah. And you can see there's printing on it that shows you how much it is, and you see that it's for 250.
Woo! Welfare Wednesday! Fuck that namesake!
Did Edgar just say that?
No. No.
Does he do a little woo?
So,
What do you guys
Skylar,
do when this bar lands on the table?
Look, we're a bit confused. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Great Souls, but unfortunately we all happen to be them. And if you heard the lore, experienced a bit of a time skip. We were bringing back some actually quite content prisoners of Jackknife Gang hideout that we managed to.
He's scanning the paper, reading down line by line, and he's smiling and kind of like it looks like he's restraining a chuckle, and he's nodding like, "Go on, go on."
So it seems like we brought in, I believe, a dozen men and a few bodies of the higher ups, and I would need to know what happened to those 12 men, if you don't mind asking.
Well, there's an account here, and apparently they turned themselves in. Leader was handed over, and well, that was about it. It seems your group's description was given, and the reward was turned to you.
By Metri, those men really found themselves in the end. Were you...
This is the strangest case I've ever read. I mean, I've seen some things in life, but this is, on paper, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Look, what happened to these men, may I ask? Did you give them the most extreme penalty?
He flips over one of the pages and looks at another one, and he goes, they're dead. Yep, they were executed a few days after.
That's a shame. I wish you would have exercised some restraint.
He scoffs and he says, "No, it's not like that. Not in the Empire. There's a reason that crime here is so much lower than in most places. We're not about to have the capital turn into a city of thieves over an inn bar."
Sure. Well...
But I have to commend you. This is really something. In all my years, I've never seen anything quite like this. You must have done a number on those men.
I've only shown them what I'm trying to find myself, and can only hope to achieve what they have. That's outstanding. And I'll kind of be grinning myself, kind of almost like too much. Like this is a revelation to me. I didn't think that this could happen.
Okay. He looks to your group after having handed this, and he's been quite flabbergasted by the papers, but eventually puts them down, and he says, "So, I guess that's that. Was there any other business?"
I kind of elbow Edgar a little bit. Sponsor.
Right. My friend here is right. During this, our removal of these bandits, we wanted to do so with as little bloodshed as possible, which, as you can see, we've achieved with great success. And while we have other things to attend to, the security of these parts is a concern of ours. We understood that with a great sign of, or rather, the great accomplishment for the city, that we might see to have a closer relationship with the Guard, and perhaps even a sponsorship of sorts, although we don't need to get to that just yet. But if we're going to be within the Empire's reach for some time, we would very much like to continue our work. You've been very honest and forthright with us thus far.
Where are you all from?
I'll grin.
Here and there.
Solsland, myself.
I'm a local.
Really? What do you do?
Well, I'm a bit of an adventurer.
Right.
I-
I'm astonished.
Yeah, right. No, I mean that's what I've been trying to make my mark on the world as. I have a bit of proficiency making toys.
I'll let out like a hearty.
He kind of looks to the side there for a moment and he goes, "Well, I don't know how much that pays, but you've got talent for this kind of work." And he sort of taps the papers.
Well, it took me long enough.
You should have heard his story of how he took down the bandit leader.
He pauses
Quite
for
capable.
a moment, and as you mention that, there's a knock on the door, and he looks at you guys and he says, "Look, I'm still on duty, but I do want to hear what happened. If you want, I'd love to hear the story. If you want to tell me some other time."
Perhaps over a beer.
I finish work at right as the evening comes around, sunset.
We'll see you then, and I'll stand up and give him a firm handshake.
Sure. He shakes your hand and looks at you in a proud way, and he says, "Sure, you can find me at this bar." And he tells you the location of a nearby tavern, and then goes to the door and opens it for you guys to leave.
Thank you, sir.
Before I go, would you know of anybody around town who might have some knowledge on powerful mages that might? It's a weird question. I'm looking for someone.
Arcane knowledge.
Yeah, a large amount of it would be.
There's some
Incredibly,
archives here in town, but there's not much for casters here, citizen. Sorry. The Empire doesn't look upon such magics the same way as the rest of the world.
Yes, that's true.
Not quite as frivolous with it. Anyway,
Oh, well, I won't bother you any further. Thank you.
he kind of like nudges you out the door, and you can see what looks like some people waiting there with paperwork, and they file in as you guys file out. And
Guys, are we the greatest adventurers to ever live right now? Is that just
Table talk or in character?
Table talk, table.
Who's got the bar, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Nervous giggle from Annie.
I thought
You
I
just-
did.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
march that right over to the bank.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Sure.
Yeah, we can't be walking around with this.
Add the
Dude,
250
that
to
lady's
the
gonna
account.
be like, "What the fuck is going on with these guys?"
I need to make a deposit.
Oh yeah, and this.
We'll be here. We'll be here every hour on the hour with gold ingots. By the way, just so you know.
So go ahead and update that to 650, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hot damn.
And yeah, you guys are kind of, outside of the consulate there. You just finished putting a ton of money into an account and had to talk with the guard, and you have a meeting with him this evening. What the fuck do you guys do with yourselves as you're standing there? Like, you just went from complete poverty. Like, remember on the boat, it was like, should I start turning tricks for money? And now you're like, champagne and caviar?
That Kanye West money gun, son. Well,
Rillo, here. This is the last that I owe you, and I'll give
Oh,
Rillo
thank you.
6 gold pieces in the interest of clearing up debts. I don't know about the rest of you, but I could go for a drink
I'm.
or 4.
I have to say, I'm
Let's make it 20.
satisfied in every respect right now. Let's go get a drink. That was This has been a fantastic week.
Okay. You guys head off and find a local tavern nearby, or are you gonna go to like one that you know in town?
I mean, we've been going to what was it?
Raster's Inn.
Raster's Inn, yeah.
Sure. You guys go back to the spot, the same place where you got that crazy puzzle box the evening where Edgar wandered out into the middle of nowhere, came back saying nothing, and had like a weird fetish whip and was missing his clothes. And you guys head in there. You see the familiar barmaid. She gives you guys a wave, and soon you're seated at the back there. Conveniently, it's the same table at the back of the room. And if you guys want to get food, subtract 2 copper. If you want to get drink, it's the same. And the food's good, it's cheap, and you guys kind of sit down and I assume gorge yourselves as you lay back for the first time in a while.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
After we kind of cheers, like, and sit there for a moment, I'll look to Tidge and I'll be like, all right,
Way
Take
ahead of
a-
you.
take out the figurine, put it on the table, and say it.
Friend.
For friend.
That's what you said, right?
Friend.
That was the word? Oh.
You put this little figurine down, and you guys watch here, some of you with a bit of a buzz, or maybe more, depending on how ham you went, and, there's, like, little bowls nearby, and plates with little bits of food and everything. It's kind of a mess as you've really gone into this feast. And there, at the very center, you watch as Tidge says the word and then places the thing down on the table. And it looks completely stone, just like before, but then you see something. It's like a twitch. The head kind of moves, and you hear the sound almost like a mild sound of a stone cracking. It's similar to like an eggshell breaking. And then the tail kind of moves. And before long, the thing starts to change until there's just a white mouse there at the center of the table. And it kind of like looks and sniffs around and stares at you guys. It has
I'm
like
gonna
little
set
red eyes and
Fergus
everything.
down.
That's so cool!
Fergus, look, it's a mouse. Just like you. Wait, can you talk, little mouse?
The mouse looks at you, and you see its whiskers, constantly jittering back and forth, and then kind of like looks at Fergus. The two look like they sort of smell each other for a moment.
I don't think it can talk.
Can you understand us though?
The thing just like goes to a nearby plate and eats from it.
God damn it.
Great.
Hey, Edgar, how do you feel that you traded all of your old gear for a mouse?
Well, considering what that trade has given us in return, I'm very happy with it.
The mouse
Without
goes over to
that gear, we wouldn't have gotten that poison vial.
That's
would it
true.
would?
That's true, yeah.
Metri is always here, always guiding us.
I feel like, yeah, we've been, I don't know, someone's been looking out for us, at least the last couple days. Very fortunate.
The mouse goes over to the side of the table and approaches you, Arillo, and comes right up to the edge there.
Hello, little mouse.
It kind of just like, jitters and sort of vibrates its nose there as it's staring at you, kind of brings a hand over its face and, grooms itself for a moment and stares at you.
I'm gonna take my finger and pet it.
Okay. When you do that,
Squashes it.
it just lets you pet it, and then after a moment, it leaps onto the back of your hand.
Oh.
It starts running up your arm, and then jumps down into your lap, and starts running, like, off your leg, and then jumps off of the chair.
Arillo, you lost it.
Oh shit!
Get it.
Don't let it get away!
I try and grab the mouse.
The
Don't touch it.
lumbering Goliath.
A little bit into the drink, and surprised by how fast this little thing goes, you try to grab it, and it just goes skittering off, and it runs underneath one of the nearby tables, between the feet of the people, and then disappears out from the main door.
Shit. I run after it.
Great,
Come back,
guys.
friend.
I'm just sitting down, legs up on a chair. I think this is the biggest waste of anything ever, so I'm just gonna let it run off.
You two run outside, and as you look around, the mouse is nowhere to be found.
What the fuck?
You can see, like, there's heavy foot traffic, it's the middle of the day and everything.
Well, that was a bit of a disappointment.
I'll just start laughing.
I will too.
This is ridiculous. At least Fergus comes back.
Fergus is just there on the table eating still. It's getting like a little rat belly going on.
Well, apparently we've got a mouse ally, but I guess he's off on his own adventure. We might run
Maybe
into
he'll
him one day.
swoop in one day and save our lives.
Is that of 6 mouths?
What?
Weren't there 6 of us? Is that the 6th one?
I thought. Oh wait, I wouldn't know because I was the first one in. I thought you said that was the barmaid.
Yeah, but she didn't look like she went in there.
Or did she? And I'll like turn back and look at her.
What if she like goes in those things all the time? That's like her favorite thing to do.
She's just like whistling to herself, pouring beer behind the counter.
Squint my eyes. Very suspicious.
Are you really?
I don't trust her.
Can you
Sir,
go?
you want me to leave?
Why, you're just gonna do that right here?
What is happening?
That's
He's
Fergus.
He's masturbating while
There he is.
maintaining eye contact.
Dabs. Dabs are happening.
Nearing completion.
He's nearing. That's fucked up. Ah!
Damn!
You know it's my brother, so that'd be really weird.
Well, that's why you told him to stop.
I mean, half of Pornhub is that, so it can't be that weird.
Oh, come on.
Oh man.
Now you know.
Alright.
So with that, you guys are gathered around the table, and Kalek looks over and suspiciously eyes the barmaid as she brings drinks to the other tables. And you guys have used the little figurine. It hung out for a bit, and off it went.
We just unleashed a lich. A lich that was trapped in a box for millions of years or some stupid shit. And now he's run away, and we've caused the demise of the entire world.
It'll evolve into a Tarask. 100 years.
An elephant-sized mouse.
We knew it! We knew it! Huh, I'm just straight up lounging, drinking beer.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll have return to the table.
sure. You guys take your seats again.
Drink another.
Barmaid comes by, asks you guys, do you need any more drinks?
I nod like aggressively.
Yeah.
Oh, also, do you have smoking tobacco or pipe or something? I think we need to celebrate.
Of course. And she gives you a smile and heads off. And, your guys' tab starts to grow as she brings over a clay pipe that you guys can use if you want. She assumes it's just for you, but mentions that the others can buy some as well if they want. And,
Ganja.
what's that? Did I hear
What did
some
you say
ganja?
really quietly?
The ganja.
Gotcha.
Why'd you whisper it? Like, the FBI isn't gonna raid your house. You're not gonna get mice coming after.
The code to use on Twitch is the devil's lettuce.
The devil's water.
God, that
That-
shit stinks.
I prefer the halfling's leaf.
Yes!
Halfling's leaf has muddled your mind.
And then Gandalf's like, what? No, it hasn't. Clearly guilty of having way too much of the halfling's leaf.
Oh shit. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Edgar starts to smoke there as you guys drink and merrily hang around the table there. You guys chit-chat about anything?
This is the first big success we've had, to be honest.
It's a nice feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. I'll be
Well-
honest, I didn't
Like, I feel like,
we're gonna make it at first.
I thought
This
we were
is-
all gonna die.
and this
I mean-
is just like a side gig.
I wasn't much of a believer myself, but I have to say, not to get preachy on you guys, but I think doing the right thing really paid off that time. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm happy that what we're doing is righteous, and that it's supporting us in turn.
We gotta find out who that wizard is, who that mage is.
I think I'm gonna consult with Metri tonight before meeting with the guard. But maybe you need to reach out to your scholar friend and see if he has any developments.
That reminds me, when he says like we need to find out more about this mage, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Detect Good and Evil. Just get a scan of what's around us, just to double check.
Ah. You feel no presences of either kind. There doesn't appear to be any sort of strange entities around you.
Okay, I'll just let loose a sigh, get comfortable. Relax.
Guys, I'm sorry about this, but my bladder's like retarded right now, so I'll be back in 20 seconds again.
Edgar leaves the table and disappears into the restroom for a moment.
Well, I've been lugging around this tattered robe from that first temple that we went into, and I really want to get it fixed up. So I think I'm going to try and find a clothing shop, someone who might be able to fix it up for me.
All right. Anything else?
I don't know. I guess maybe just walk around town a little bit. Probably try and talk to the librarian at some point. Maybe visit that arcane shop. See if they've got anything good.
Well, that mage is still keeping an eye on us, I'd assume. So, best not to split up too much. At least take another person with you.
Sure. Anybody who wants to come with me.
What are we
Will,
doing?
I'm gonna go see if I can get this robe fixed up.
Robe. Oh, from the followers that we found.
Yeah, from the Temple of Despair. I've been dragging it around, it's ratty as hell. I want to see if they can kind of restore it. It may be a former librarian, but it's a librarian nonetheless.
Could be a nice memento.
That's what I'm thinking. So, if anybody would like to come with me, then they're more than welcome to.
I'll sit up and I'll volunteer.
All right.
Oh, anything I can get into today? I don't really think so.
Well, don't really have to do anything until we meet with the guard.
That's music to my ears.
All right, then I guess we'll be off.
See you guys later.
I'll see you there.
Okay. The two of you head out and leave the rest over there at the tavern. Tidge and Kalik, you guys are looking for a clothing shop, and you're going to that arcane shop as well, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm just following.
Okay. So, as far as clothing goes, you're quoted at 2 gold pieces to repair the robe, and
Oh, that's
somebody
right.
tells you that they can have it finished by the end of the day. It's not very extensive repairs, and they can get it done within a few hours, kind of thing.
Did I leave it with them before?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna assume I didn't. So yeah, I'll go for that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I thought I remember.
Oh, did you get the robe repaired before?
Yeah, or well, maybe not get it repaired, but left it with him to take care of it.
Oh.
It's still in my
that
inventory,
does
so
sound familiar.
I'm just gonna assume no.
No, it does sound familiar.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did that when you were in town, so your robes are probably all fixed up. You could wear them if you want.
All right, yeah, I'm totally gonna do that.
Okay, so you start wearing the old librarian robes, and then go to this this little arcane shop that you've been to before. And heading into there, you see the familiar owner there, Ethel, from behind the counter. She, turns over and gives you guys a smile as you come in.
Good day, Ethel. How are things?
Oh, things are good. How about yourself?
Good,
The
good.
new focus treating you okay?
It's incredible. Helped me out quite a bit.
Well, that's perfect.
Are you gonna try to sell that other focus?
Oh, I can. I really have no use for it. Would you have... I'll present it to Ethel. Would you have any use for this?
She takes the thing, and she says, "Do you mind?"
No.
She casts a spell and does a little like prestidigitation there or whatever, something that would require a focus. And she goes, well, this is fine. How about 7 gold?
One moment. Can I take a look at it real quick?
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Identify on it just to make sure
Ah,
there's anything else on it.
it appears to be a regular arcane focus.
Yep, everything's in order.
When you hand it back to her, she looks at you and she looks like she's impressed, and you realize that she's, having seen you with the pearl there and everything, she goes, "Oh, you're a practitioner yourself."
Not as, kind of.
A
Just a bit.
friend of yours, Tidge?
He is.
Huh. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. The name's Ethel, and she extends a handshake to you.
Ethel? Pleasure's all mine. I'm Kalik.
She gives you a smile, and she takes the focus there and hands you 7 gold.
Okay.
So, what brings you into my neck of the woods? Just a little sail here?
Well, I was wondering if you had anything new and exciting.
Well, I have a few things around. And she kind of looks about her shop and turns back to you. She says, "You might want to narrow it down a bit, or we could be staring at things for a while."
You know what? Last time I was in, you told me about a ring of a ring that would help me carry a little more. Could you refresh my memory on how much that costs?
She pauses for a moment and... she says, I've sold that, unfortunately. A gentleman
Well, I guess
came
that's-
in and picked it up a little while ago.
Do you have something that would prevent someone from scrying on you?
Oh, of course. An eye pendant. I tend to keep a couple of those around.
How expensive are those?
She looks at you and gives you a cheeky grin. She goes, "Think somebody's looking at you out there?" And she's
wouldn't
like
wanna look in at
completely
this
joking.
I'll reach into my pocket and I'll pull out the pouch, set it on the counter, and I'll open it up, and it has all the crystal ball shards.
What's this?
A certain
Is that
wizard
glass powder?
mage. It was a crystal ball, and an individual was using it to, I don't know, keep an eye on us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were joking.
Oh no, completely serious.
Oh, very much so.
Well,
It almost killed me.
she, her demeanor instantly changes, and she goes rifling around in the cupboards there, and she puts down a pendant, and it looks like a little, sort of like a glass figurine almost that's been shaped like an eye. So it's like this little blue eye thing hanging from a necklace. And she says, "This will stop any scrying, so long as you keep it on. If it leaves your person, then, well, it won't work anymore."
Does it only protect one person, or is it more of an area?
She nods and she says, "Whoever's wearing it will be safe."
Do you have any? How many do you have?
I have... Well, you're in luck, actually. I have 2 of them.
How expensive are these?
Somebody make a luck roll, please.
Looks like it's Mike.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh!
Oh god, I don't even know what happened.
Robbed. 6,000 gold apiece.
She tells you they're 800 each.
Seems
That's
fair.
more than a fucking horse.
That's more than a horse. That's more than a couple horses.
That is 100% true.
Well, I don't think we can pick these up today, but perhaps in the future, well, we know where they are.
Yes.
She
Is
nods
this something
to you.
that we could have commissioned? Should you sell one of them?
Not necessarily, but they are one of the items you can kind of find here and there.
That's good to know.
A lot of magic shops will keep this around. People in the know, of course, who don't want to be watched. I hear that most of the wizards in Soulsland keep these around, almost at all times.
Well,
Was there anything else I could help you boys with? I'm sorry this was a bit too much, but
No,
you
it's fine.
understand.
no, yeah. Enchanting is a difficult thing.
Perhaps I do have a
I-
good selection of scrolls available if you wanted some additional spells to carry with you, or maybe some other items.
That could be very interesting. What kind of scrolls do you have?
I've got problem-solving ones. I have some very destructive ones on. Just depends on what school you're looking for.
What do you have by way of problem solving?
Well, go ahead and make for me another luck roll, please.
You good, Ed?
Oh, that's me right here.
I don't know, Billy.
I'd be good at it. I could
Stop
speak
talking.
Russian.
Oh my god.
Oh.
She starts
salute.
rifling around
Salute.
and then turns back to you and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I feel terrible. I actually sold a lot of these recently, so there isn't much. But as far as some of the less common things, I do have a scroll of counterspell here, which might be useful." She puts a scroll down there, and you can see it's got a little price tag on it, and it looks like it goes for 150. And she says, "And what else do I have here? This is the only other one." And she puts down one and says that it's Leomund's Tiny Hut,
Ooh.
and that seems to go for the same price.
That could become really handy.
I could go down on the price a bit. I thought I had more on hand, and she says, "How about 130?"
I don't know, Caleb, what do you think?
It would be something we'd have to consult with the party first.
Yeah.
But I
Could you
think
put
it'd
it on
be-
hold for maybe a day?
Certainly. Yeah, till tomorrow, I can do that.
Sure. That'll give us time to discuss this with the rest of our group.
And depending on what we're doing next, might influence which we get.
True.
Well,
Alright.
We're speaking with the guard captain here a little later.
oh. She kind of looks at you guys interested.
Oh, perhaps a little bit more work should be done for him. You see, my little friend here is quite capable.
You guys are guardsmen? You don't look it.
More like subcontractors.
Oh, I see. I did have you pegged more for an adventuring group. That makes more sense.
That's a bit better. More our speed.
Well, I do have something else that you might want. I got a number of these, a bulk shipment, and I haven't been able to sell all of them, if you are interested. And she goes over and pulls out what looks like a cluster of scrolls down. And she says, "They're all fireballs, all of them. And, well, I haven't been able to move quite as many as I'd hoped. Adventurers would certainly have use for something like this, if you're interested. Maybe something to keep on hand just in case."
How much do those go for?
I could do 125.
Alright.
I can imagine that would be pretty enticing to them.
She gives you a big smile and, kind of, bats her eyelashes at you.
Also known as the Annabelle.
Right?
What about me?
No, nothing.
The shopkeep is trying to swindle them by batting her eyelashes and, reserve her email wiles.
Well, regardless, we'd have to withdraw money make a purchase. So we will
Yes.
be needing to speak with our party. But we can assure you we'll be back.
Okay.
We will.
Hurry back then. And she gives you a smile and starts stuffing all the scrolls back away.
Thank you, Ethel.
Into her bosom.
Bosom. That could mean titties or vagina.
Oh my god.
What did he say?
I said bosom. That could mean titties or vagina. Words of wisdom from my little brother.
Let it be.
He's a poet.
Leave me the fuck alone, ass.
You're in my room. What?
I'm in my house. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, damn!
Oh,
Get fucked.
damn.
Boom, 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 boom,
Bum bum.
Yeah.
Don't you laugh so much?
Okay, so
Oh my God, girl.
with you two headed out of the shop,
Yeah.
where are you going next?
Please, hopefully.
Probably just back to the tavern.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have
just
anything you
leave
need to do?
Nope.
What have the three of you guys been up to while you're over here in the tavern?
I would have drank for a bit, and
Yeah, I've been drinking.
after that, once things if the street seems to be quieting down just a bit, I would excuse myself and go back to the alley where I communicated with Metri initially.
Okay.
Oh, and and I would kneel and pray to him like I did the first time.
Okay. So, Arillo and Annabelle, you two are kind of left there at the table as Edgar excused himself to go and step outside. And as you go and head into this alleyway there, Edgar, and you pray to Metri, I'd like you to make a wisdom roll, please.
Okie dokie ravioli.
Give me that fucking formula.
Not great. Wisdom is just straight wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
It's an 11.
Okay. You kneel down and pray to Metri, and given all of the day's recent events and all that's happened in the last little while, you're definitely in different spirits compared to where you were last time. And unfortunately, there's no conversation with Metri. He doesn't show himself. Nothing strange comes out of the wall like before. But you do feel rather good about yourself, and this whole event and this talk that you had with those different bandits that you found on the road has kind of, left a very resonant memory in your mind. The prayers kind of help you get it all together.
Yeah, that's perfect. And I'll just finish that off, take a moment of silence, and then I'll head back to the bar.
Okay. You head back inside, and Arillo and Annabelle, what have you guys been doing in there?
Waiting for everybody to get back.
Yep.
Getting slashed.
Trying not to make eye contact
Drinking
with each
away.
other.
I'm just staring out the window, just turning around.
The two of you act like two normal human beings as Edgar comes back.
Whoa, racist.
Neither of them are
Did
human.
you just assume my raise?
I did.
I think you did. Fucking asshole.
Ooh, god damn.
And Arillo dies next game.
The roof falls, you die.
Next game. How about tonight?
Now,
No.
shortly after you've sat down there, Edgar, the two of you from out on your little shopping excursion come back and find the three seated there in the same spot.
Welcome back.
Check out my new robes. My new, extremely old robes.
Surprisingly, these still smell just as musty as when we found them.
I didn't buy them, or I didn't take them for the scent. I took them for the nostalgic portion. But they look pretty cool, right?
Uh-huh. Do they look cool, or are they, old as fuck?
I'd say they're kind of neat in an antiquated way. It's interesting when you see something that old. You can kind of feel it,
Does he look like someone trying to pull off a powdered wig in like 2010, or is it just like a cool old thing?
It's a cool old thing.
Okay. Then in that case, I'll not be like.
The robes aren't that bad. It's not like this floral pattern all over it, like Hawaiian t-shirt style.
I hear like the fucking French harpsichord from the 16th century going on.
Yeah, not
Guys,
quite like that.
300 years ago, these were the height of fashion. Just
If you
swear
were,
to God.
if you were any cooler, you'd be Edgar.
Damn.
I'll be a little rosy cheeked, so I'll laugh. I'll laugh.
Okay.
I'll laugh hard.
Now, something interesting happens. While you guys are seated here, you guys all
Did
hear
fucking mouse come back?
you guys all hear a squeak and recognize it as the mouse.
Find it!
Oh, look, our saving grace has returned.
Hey,
You hear the squeak again, and it sounds like it's coming from directly above you guys.
Look up.
When you look up, you see
Oh
like
my
a
God, is
tiny
he
little
pushing the
rodent
power?
looking over the side of one of the rafters in the ceiling there. And then
Hey.
it pushes some sort of shiny object that
Fuck
lands on the
off!
table.
Where's
Yo.
the cloth? I try to catch it.
Flashback.
No!
Kalik, you reach forward and catch what looks to be a small metallic key. It looks very old.
Look at the key. Look up at the mouse.
The mouse just
Kinda-
like looks at you there and then scurries off and runs down the rafter.
I just wave. Bye.
It disappears into a hole in the wall.
What?
Dude.
It's a strange little
you
creature.
just got your own gem. It's gonna be dropping gifts left and right, son.
Is he just gonna keep bringing us stuff?
I don't know.
What does the key look like?
I'll hold it up so everyone can inspect it.
The key is rather old, but it does have a peculiar look to it. It's not particularly complex, most certainly not something meant for like a really intense lock, likely something more mundane. And as you look at it, I have to ask, have you guys stayed at this tavern? Like, overnight?
I think
Yes.
so.
Okay.
Yeah,
We have,
Yeah,
yeah.
Kalik and I did when
It
they
looks
were
like
on
one of
their
the
boat.
tavern keys, but it's just been like left in a gutter or something. Like it started to rust a little, but it's identical.
Does it look like one of the room keys?
Yeah,
Is there a number on it or anything?
you do see a number. Yeah, it's one of the higher up numbers. It must be for like the second floor.
Dude, I've seen that Stephen King novel about the hotel room with Samuel L. Jackson and that one guy, and I'm not down because that movie's scary.
Hey, this day has been going great so far. It can get even better.
Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing
got-
can go.
Do you guys know where that key leads?
Upstairs.
To a room.
Point to the number.
You just know it's upstairs?
It looks exactly the
It's-
same as the key we got the other night.
Looks
Oh.
similar to another key.
Huh. Do you want to go check it out? I've drunk just enough to not be cautious.
I think a laid-back little adventure such as this is appropriate after what we've gone through.
We've got some time to kill before meeting up with Skylar.
Last time we had a laid-back adventure, we ended up in the puzzle box of a creepy young girl's room where someone scary was coming down the hallway. So
And we came out just fine.
We solved that one. We can solve any more.
well, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I'm gonna blame it on the mouse brain. But I was about to take a nosedive into the so very glad you guys quote unquote solved that before I did.
Well, I'm glad you're still here with us.
Do you guys go
I'll-
investigate?
I'll stand up confidently and start marching off.
Same.
With mild drunken swaggers, the five of you head up and ascend the steps towards the first hallway, and then past the steps there up to the next. And sooner or later, you're traveling down the hall that has a whole bunch of these little hotel rooms on the left and right, and eventually get up to the room that this corresponds with. Interestingly enough, there's something about this that seems odd, and it sort of takes you guys a moment to realize what it is, but you hear people from behind the door, and it sounds like a couple kind of like flirting.
Perhaps we shouldn't intervene.
Is there a keyhole?
There is.
Can I look through it?
Dude.
Yeah, make a perception check.
We're into it at this point.
He's drunk, it's fine.
It's like right at eye level. I think that's just an 8.
Looking in there, you can see that the back window is kind of open, and there's a sort of breeze coming into the room, and you see a dresser nearby, but you can't see the people, though you still hear them. Most of the room is out of your view.
Guys, I don't know if there's anything of interest in there.
Let's check.
I hand the key to Edgar.
I straight up open them.
Alright, let's
Well,
do this.
You attempt to do so, but when you put the key in and go to turn it, not only does the flirting seem to stop, but the door doesn't open, and the key, kind of like, does the crank there and doesn't turn the tumblers.
Try
Well-
the next door.
You hear footsteps coming towards the door.
I just wait.
Unsure what to do, Edgar pulls out the key. That didn't work, and the door opens, and you see a guy standing there who, he's wearing his slacks and everything, but it looks like he's wearing kind of like an undershirt there, and staring at you guys goes, I didn't order any room service.
You didn't order 5 people just now?
He kind of looks at you guys, and he's like, have you been drinking, sir?
Yes, sorry, we were trying to find our room. Sorry.
Okay, well, we rented this a few days ago, so you've definitely got the wrong room.
Yes, we're sorry.
I'm pretty sure we don't. If you look at this key, and I'm gonna pull it up, it definitely has this room on it.
He
Do you
looks
mind
at it,
sharing?
and he goes, well, that's weird, and he pulls out a key, and you see it's identical to that one, except it looks like new, like a smith had made it, 10 days ago kind of thing. And it looks
Can we
identical.
Can we trade? Yours looks newer.
What? No, get... Good day, sir. And he closed the door.
And I'll kind of just laugh, right at the door, and just look over. Well, looks like your mouse is really just nailing it today. That's great.
We gotta come up with a name for him.
Let's call him the
How about
disappointment.
Fergus too?
How about welfare?
I prefer disappointment.
The door opens. Can you guys have this conversation somewhere else?
I'm sorry, did you rent the hallway?
No, I didn't, but... He closed the door.
That's right.
I look back. Alright, maybe we should go. Is there... You guys seem so confident that it was this place. Are you sure?
Perhaps not.
Let's keep going. Does
Next
this
time we
go any
see
higher?
that mouse, we can ask him.
Let's keep going. It's gotta go higher. Does it seem to go higher? Are there more stairs that lead up?
There's a couple more rooms before the hotel's last rooms are up.
I'm gonna see, are there any locks that seem particularly old?
Oh, interesting. Most of the locks look to be aged, with the exception of the one that you just tried. This one looks kind of new.
Damn. That means... maybe that mouse is onto something.
Because just fucking drunk in the hallway, trying to figure it out. What the fuck is going on?
Look,
I mean-
look at this. Look at this. Look, all those... all those locks. all those locks.
You hear a
are-
woman's voice. Why are they talking about a mouse? I don't fucking know, okay? Just...
We call them disappoint... okay, look. They're all pretty old. It's new. We need to find out what that lock. The old one.
Why?
I
So
don't-
we can put it back in the door.
We can
Look,
can
the,
ask.
the last time I followed a weird thing, it ended up being in a different plane of existence, and I came back with goodies and half naked. So at this point, I follow leads wherever they are.
We can ask the tavern keep, unless you think they're in on the.
In on the...
Could be interesting. Just pretend like we don't actually have the key. Go downstairs and ask them, you know, we rented a room some time ago, a long time ago, and we were just, you know.
You're good with words. How about you do it?
Yeah, I'm.
He's also a bit
Yeah, I'm
hammered.
yeah. Oof. You know what? I will do a good job. You're right, and I just start heading down.
I'm following him.
Why are the locks different?
I'm ready.
You guys head down, and when you get down into the main room, you see that your table is being cleaned up by the barmaid, and the barkeep is behind the bar. Where are you going to? She looks
Excuse me.
over and she goes, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were finished."
Well, yeah, we were. I have a question for you. Who's the owner of this fine establishment?
Oh, the owner's not in right now.
Anyone take care of maintenance? You know, the general running of the inn.
She nods and looks over to the barkeep. Why,
Thank
was
you.
there a problem?
Yes, but he'll be able to help me. Don't worry about it. It's not a huge deal.
Okay, hun.
And I'll walk over to the barkeep.
Okay. He gives you guys a look. He's kind of cleaning the glass there and handing a beer to somebody else at the bar. What do you guys need?
5 shots, something strong.
Sure thing. And he goes and...
Maybe 2 for him, and I point to Arillo.
Good call. Very good
I would
call.
take a keg.
starts to hand you guys a good amount of liquor. I need 2 Constitution saving throws from you, Billy, and 1 from you, Arillo.
Alright. Who wants to roll?
I'm gonna use Gizmo and Welfare Wednesday. Oh damn. Let's see. Constitution saving throw. So it's a 12 and a 19.
Okay.
You got a 2.
Plus 5.
So, slamming a whole
11.
bunch of drinks here. Arillo, you're starting to feel it, and, you've got a drunken smile on your face. As for you, Edgar, after these 5 shots, you're doing that thing where, like, you're sort of swaying and your words are coming out difficult, but if you really concentrate, if you really just put all of your energy and consciousness into acting normal, you can kind of do it. Like, you can walk from A to B, not in a straight line, but you can do it if you're really paying attention.
Did he take all 5 shots, or did he?
Apparently I
Oh,
did.
shit!
I was gonna share them, but that's just happened.
Okay, I guess that happened. So, Edgar calls for 5 shots. I assume one of you kind of, like, is about to reach for it, and he just pounds them all. And the barkeep, gives you a nod, and he says, "Alright, you need anything else this afternoon?"
Well, that'll put some lead in your pencil. I have...
He nods and, like, kind of smiles towards those of you who didn't have any.
I have a question for you. Upstairs, one of my favorite rooms. I'll try to remember. Can I remember the room number?
Sure, yeah, it's 17, let's say.
17. I have this is a really good room. I had some great memories in there. I noticed you guys changed the lock recently. And I gotta say, the old one squeaked in such a way.
Oh, you're one of those weird kinky motherfuckers, aren't you?
Yeah, with the rope and the thing. So
somebody laughs from down the bar.
Yep, and I just point without looking. Yep, with like a finger snap.
The back of your palm like hits Tidge in the face.
So,
he looks at you and goes, "Yeah, we I wish I could help you, but we lost the key, and since then we got a new lock, and forgot to tell the blacksmith to keep the squeak in it."
This is gonna be really a weird quest, but where did you hand that lock off to?
The lock? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the old lock. The
Locksmith
one with the
probably
squeak.
took it, threw it in the trash. I don't know.
And I'm gonna look really sad for a second.
Yeah, sorry, bud. I'd love to help you out with all that weird shit, but it's probably gone now.
It was just loose enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Alright.
it was a long time ago. I mean, we never even found the key.
Huh. Okay. Well, you hear that, guys? Disappointment strikes again.
The bartender looks at all of you guys like you're all in on this weird fetish. And he goes, well, are you gonna pay your tab?
3 more shots, please, for the rest of us.
Of course.
Edgar,
Not
you're
just-
weirdly cognizant for someone who just had so much.
Oh,
Give him
That's
5
first of all.
minutes.
first of all, great word. Second of all, I'm gonna channel divinity, and I'm gonna become the fucking diplomat man. +5 persuasion. I'll look in.
Okay. A momentary bit of like divine light almost, just ever so faintly shimmers around Edgar in his drunkenness as his cheeks grow redder by the second.
And I'll lean in, just angling my mouth just low so he doesn't get hit with a full stank breath of alcohol. Anything you can do. Can you just point me to the guy you used? I'd really appreciate it. I know
Yeah.
it's weird, but you know, we all took turns on that. It was
Make a
something else.
persuasion roll, please. And do so with advantage since he wants to get you the fuck out
Oh, not 20! And a 1!
here. He says nothing. He holds up a finger like 1 second, walks out of the room, comes back with a piece of paper, slaps a receipt on the table, and goes, that's your guy.
Thank you so much.
Now, before we get into anything else, would you guys mind paying this? And he shows you the tab for your day of like 10 tequila shots and probably like 20 beers, meals all around, and it comes to 7 gold pieces.
That's it.
I'll do that drunk 90-degree turn, and I'll look to Mitch.
Good thing I just sold that little focus. There you go.
You put the 7 there, he takes it. Thank you kindly. Now, you guys have a good day out there.
Oh, are we leaving?
Yeah, we've gotta go. We've gotta go meet Skylar for a drink.
Fuck.
Oh.
Did he pass out the other 3?
He did, so you guys have all had shots. And you can make constitution rolls as well.
How does the barkeep look? Is he a big burly man?
Yeah.
You know what? I look to Arillo. Arillo, you're gonna enjoy this.
19.
Come here. I'm gonna take him. Take him. I'm just gonna put my hands on his shoulders, shimmying out to like an open spot in the bar. I need you to gingerly slap me with that big ass hand. of yours.
All right. And I slap Edgar.
Okay.
Not super hard, but hard enough.
Woo! All right. All right, guys, let's go.
I rolled an 11.
An 11. Okay.
19.
19. Okay.
9.
You
Are
guys
you a
follow-
Hitler Youth? What is?
Tidge, you follow in tow, feeling nice and comfortable and warm, and watch as Edgar, stands up straight, walks perfectly fine, and then by the time you guys are getting to the door, he's starting to sway again a bit. And Annabelle and Caleb are
Arillo.
starting to.
Oh, sorry.
Basically, everybody is at least semi-drunk, with the exception of Tidge, who's kind of got it together. And getting it out into the street there, Edgar's starting to fall apart at the seams.
Arillo, hold him up.
Wait. I have something for this.
Just fucking projectile vomits on the ground.
I'm gonna just rub my hands together, crack the knuckles, crack my neck, and I cast Bless.
He thinks he cast it on himself, but he cast it on Caleb.
I cast it on myself, on Tidge, and on Annabelle.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys feel that? That's Metri's guiding light right there. We're gonna walk straight for at least a good 10 minutes.
People are taking like a wide berth around you guys. It's like the middle of the afternoon.
Feeling left out, I will rub my hands together and I will cast Bless on me and Arilla.
Okay. Everybody is super blessed now.
Well, you guys are weird.
And there's like people watching from nearby, like, what is going on?
Hashtag blessed.
Blame it all on Jesus.
Alright.
Now with that, your blessed drunken group wanders the streets and makes their way over towards this locksmith. And when you guys get up to the establishment, you just head right in.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Drunkenly
right
you
now,
stumble in.
with confiance, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He looks over. Hey guys, how are you can I help you?
I kind of adjust the lapels on my little,
Pop your
collar
collar.
here. Just
But makes them worse.
you recently serviced a lock at the fine establishment. What's that inn called, guys?
Raster's in.
Raster's Inn. We need the old key and knob, or the slot, the lock, and I'm just trying to just using my hands together to form an object, but it's really not clear. The the thing in the door.
Oh, the door handle?
That's it.
Right. And why is that exactly?
He likes the way it squeaks.
Excuse me?
First of all, that
He likes the way it squeaks.
Annabelle, I haven't said anything about your accent thus far, but that was just disgusting.
Hey, you need to take your little thing. Yes. Yeah.
Right, okay.
He kind of
Alright.
looks at you guys and he goes,
Sir, I'm sorry, let me compose myself. We are a little inebriated. Here's the receipt from the barkeep at Raster's Inn. There's some sentimental value. Sentimental. That's
He just wants the thing.
sentimental.
he looks at the receipt and he goes, sorry, you want the old lock?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I wonder if I have that. He starts rummaging through a bunch of metal trays and everything, and eventually turns over and hands it to you. It's weird to see it sort of disembodied and not attached in a door. It's got kind of screws coming off it and just a metal plate and all. He goes, here, take it.
Wow. Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. And I put my hand out for the key.
Excuse me, sorry?
Oh, no, not to you. I'm sorry. And I rotate and I put my hand out to the party. Who has the key again?
Don't you have it?
You do.
Oh. I'll go into my pocket. Oh.
Sure enough, there's the key.
I'll put it right into the little socket and turn it.
The man behind the counter watches in amazement as you take this disembodied lock, pull out a key, put the thing in, and click, the little deadbolt moves or whatever. It works. And he looks and goes, right, you guys need anything else?
Can we keep it?
Well,
Yeah.
now that you have the key and the lock, can we sell this to you?
Get out of my shop.
I'll just kind of give him a drunk nod and I'll just start walking out.
He just kind of shakes his head as you guys go, wandering out into the street. Edgar's still holding just, a key and lock in his hand. What do you guys do standing outside of his shop?
Oh,
I'm
supposed
just
to meet with
staring
Kyle?
out into space.
A homeless man nearby calls out to you and he goes, got any more of that hooch?
Huh?
Ah, fuck it.
Boy, you are not very persistent.
What?
He's not very persistent.
Talking to me?
Yes, I guess.
I was very persistent. I got the key. And well, no, the lock.
I guess you're right. I must not have been paying any attention.
That's a fact. By the way, and I just hand the whole contraption over to Kalik. I want you to know that I'm extremely disappointed in your mouse.
And we will end the session there.
We're all wasted.
Oh.
Beautiful.
No, I'm doing fine.
I'm
Well
gonna have
done,
to channel.
guys. A fantastic session.
Oh my god, that was a roller coaster. Holy.
Wow.
Holy
Uh-huh.
shit.
So, with that, I'd like to congratulate all the players. I think you did a beautiful job. You fucked up all the right things and succeeded on all the on all the wrong ones. It was great. It was great. And in the end, started a giant murder genocide, or World War III, as someone in Twitch chat put it. And walked away with a fortune. You turned a bunch of men to God, figuratively and literally, in the end. And managed to walk away happy. You got gas in the tank, cash in the bank, and things are looking up for next week. So, congrats to the players. Audience, it was good to have you. Patrons, could do it without you. We will see you tomorrow for some more D&D.
Yeah.
More
Adios.
disappointment. That mouse will start popping up in other sessions.
Just bringing us different random shit.
Unleash
Now-
the demon.
Now, table talk. I wonder. I think we're overthinking a retarded mouse, but maybe if we install that lock in a door and open it, it opens up to a dimension of gold or El Dorado or something.
Is this drunk, Carrick?
Carrick! Woo! Throwback.
I was about to say.
He's so drunk, he's...
I just
Alternate
I
personality.
I refuse to believe that mouse does nothing.
Interesting. Well, before you go too far into it, I'm gonna kill stream. Peace out, stream.